Hey guys, what's up? So we're live once again for the M4 tournament. It's RRQ Hoshi, RRQ Indonesia versus Falcon Esports. So who do you think will take this one, guys? Who do you think will win? RRQ Indonesia went head to head against Blacklist, but they lost. That's why they're facing Falcon now in the lower brackets. Falcon did a very good job on the M4. Their last match was with the INC, which was also a bit kind of exciting, right? We thought INC will pull an upset, but Falcon came out on top, proving why they were the top team during the group stage. To be honest, Falcon's performance is good. Good. But we have to remember that this is RRQ Hoshi, Indonesia. I do think this is gonna be a close match because Falcon was doing good during the group stage. They beat Blacklist twice, and Blacklist has not yet been able to answer back to the Falcon team. And Blacklist actually beat RRQ Hoshi. What's the score again? 3-2. So I think it's a pretty close match. If we're gonna base the team stats from their previous matches, I think it's really close. But it's up to you guys. What do you think? Falcon deserves first. Yeah, Falcon is definitely doing good, man. So anyways, let's shout out first before the game starts, because we only have a few more minutes left before the draft pick. Oh my God, Lithium, what's that question? I can't actually read that. Mabs is here right now. Wala pala. May chance na ba si Chad kay Mabs? Ha 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 ha. Lithium, how'd you know that? Shout out Danish Amerol. How'd you know that issue, man? When will Valley play again? The Valley. Let's check out the matches for today. For today's match, it's gonna be RRQ Hoshi versus Falcon, which is the one you're seeing right now. And then it's gonna be the Valley versus Onyx Esports. They said that it's gonna be 3 matches today. So I guess whoever wins the RQ Hoshi versus Falcon and the Onyx Esports versus the Valley, those 2 winners are gonna fight, and then that's gonna be the 3rd game. Ooh, this is a good day. This is definitely a good day. I think that's what's gonna happen today. So RQ Hoshi versus Falcon. And then on the next match, it's going to be Onyx Esports and the Valley. And on the 3rd match, the winner of those 2 matches is going to meet. Okay? So they're the ones who's going to fight. So no Blacklist, I think, for today. Because they're going to have to finish the lower bracket matches first. Yep. Two more minutes before the next game. Let's go back to your comments, man. Hello, Mara Aquino. Amon's TZ, what's up? Does the Valley have what it takes to beat the Onyx Esports? Man, I think... Yeah, because they did beat RRQ Akira, who was also doing pretty good during the group stage. So... I do think the Valley has what it takes to beat Onyx Esports. Has what it takes, man, but we never know. I mean, this is Onyx we're talking about. They had a very intense fight with the Blacklist. Kyrie, you remember Kyrie? Kyrie Hayabusa from yesterday? Do you think the Valley can go against that insane Kyrie? But the Valley has a tendency to surprise the audience, man. Yeah, Onyx is really strong. I mean, I know the Valley has hype, and they tend to surprise us. I don't know, man. Onyx is just... Who knows? Anyways, let's focus first on RRQ Indonesia and Falcon. I think most of you guys are more excited about the Valley and Onyx. Are you guys more excited about the Valley and Onyx as compared to RRQ Hoshi against Falcon? Kyrie is really strong, not the Onyx. Oh, snap. That's not from me, that's from McCoy, man. Nah, CW also did good. CW was also doing good in the Onyx, man. And the sets of the tanks. Right now, who are you rooting for? I would love to see, to be honest, I would love to see Falcon win this. Because it's usually the guys who's on the final stage, even during the other M tournaments, is usually Indonesia, Malaysia, and PH. So I would love to see Falcon win and be able to step on the upper stages. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. Draft pick is starting. Let's go.
Coming together here, it cannot be just the signature heroes from each player, because if there's no synergy in the team composition, it's going to be a very tough situation at this level of Mobile Legends.
It's also really interesting how the bans have kind of evolved throughout this knockout stage. You know, in the group stages, the Fermis wasn't extremely contested. It kind of depended on who you were going against, but now we're seeing it a lot more here, especially because some teams have kind of mastered it. The carry, very, very typical, so it seems like Falcon does not want to give that over. I mean, she's just been shredding through teams, so very understandable. And now with the Wan banned out as well, it kind of, we're already seeing some limits on the gold lane here.
I'm surprised too, you know, I mean, especially after yesterday where we just saw at one point all those assassins being banned out here. But I feel like both these two junglers are very versatile enough in their own way that if they don't want to start on the assassin junglers, we have seen pretty much everybody in the M4 tournament do pretty well on those tanky jungler picks, right? You've got the Barretts, you've got the Martis, who isn't banned out just yet. So you can go that route, build around a multifaceted play style, because if you notice the trend here, teams that are, you know, let's say have the all-star junglers, right? If they're shut down, things kind of fall apart, right? So at this point in the stage of the knockouts, you need everybody in their lanes, in their roles to play the part, right? And you start that, of course, here in the draft. The Kaja being taken out as well. This is another hero that has constantly popped up, like we just mentioned. Big playstyle potential, big playmaker potential. And last ban for Falcon, is it going to be a roamer? Is it going to be another marksman here? And or even possibly the mid lane, because Eve is... Okay, never mind. Eve is taken out. I was going to say Eve was open.
Fanny's open though as well. Same thing with the blue. A lot of things are open right now for the side RRQ, but Falcon set themselves up for a possible, you know, swap. Like
Exactly. Having the flexibility is insane, but this is going to be Joy still able to be flexed around, but we've seen it in the hands of R7. It just wreaks havoc in the back line, basically denies any kind of follow-up when your main engager engages. So against Falcon, this will be a strong pick, but the glue comes in almost instantly, so this is something they definitely want to abuse in this game.
At this point, you can pretty much leave Fanny open, because any team that does chance for it, that goes for that Fanny pick, you know that you're going to have to protect the Fanny's resources the whole time, right? That purple buff. And that's why you see no one take it just yet. Like you guys mentioned, Joy has been doing wonders, especially in the XP lane with that Vengeance, causing havoc like you mentioned, Arashi. And on the flip side, Falcon able to pick up the Glue and the Fredrin. Two great options, right? We've seen how utility Fredrin can be and tanky, but also Bonchan with a quote here, it's already difficult this time against RRQ. It's already a different strategy because of the addition of Coach Arcadia. They drastically improved their macro, and I think it helps a lot. What do you expect from a Filipino coach?
All right, so at the end, he's still showing some Filipino pride, even though he's complimenting RRQ. Fair play. But now with the two more picks for RRQ, we'll have to see. Is it going to be the mid lane? Is it going to be the roamer? It will be Lunox and the Grok. And right now, this is the confusing part, right? These heroes can very much still be flexed around, and that is the very confusing factor. That is why flex picks are really good against teams that are a bit more one-dimensional. We'll have to see though, because Falcon has shown themselves that they can just come out with some really unexpected picks.
Yeah, I mean, literally all three of those heroes
Yeah.
can go to a few different places. So RRQ not showing their hands one bit. Now, on the side of Falcon, they picked up that Fredrin, and he had a really rough start in the group stage. He had like a 69% pick rate, but a 39%
like
win
30.
rate. But now that we're getting to the top tier of these teams, we are starting to see how important it is. But hold on, there's the Valentina, and what?
4 for 4.
4 for 4.
4 for 4.
4 for 4. So will this be the thing that carries them game one?
I mean, it might just be. It's a very solid hero. And I think a big portion, a big part of a lot of these early game teams, they really require some wave control, because if they can't really push and get priority to start roaming around, their team really starts to slow down. So looking at the lineup right now, it does seem like Falcon has a bit of an edge in that department. We'll have to see though, because again, it all depends on where exactly do these heroes go to.
The biggest thing for me when I'm looking at Falcon already is you have so much CC, right? You've got the CC from the Fredrin, the knock up, the taunt, plus the Terrify, and again, depending what we see Valentina take for an ultimate here, probably right now, Wild Charge, but still, the fact that you have a lot of that layered CC, it's going to work in your favor, but you need to be able to follow up on that, right? So you can see how many marksman bans are coming out, but we had some surprises yesterday in terms of marksman picks. We saw, what, Melissa come out, Moskov, you know, what else is in store here? And does Falcon want to opt for a traditional marksman? Because with them banning 3 out so far, and there's the Claude as well in return from RRQ, there's not a lot of options left, at least from what we've seen so far in the knockout stage.
Well, right now, RRQ banned away the Claude, so logically speaking, that means they already have their gold laner, or they're planning on going for something different than a Claude. So a bit of a mind game here, because the Lunox can still go in that role, and the Harith has been
So
banned
clutch.
out as well. A bit of a different priority for both these teams, but it does seem like Falcon, they're just setting up for a very strong front line. They ban out a long distance, long DPS heroes like that Beatrix. They can just burst through. So maybe they just want something more kitey, you know, something that can maintain distance a bit more.
You know, with the way Falcon was banning, even in second phase, they ban out the Beatrix. I'm thinking, oh, they're probably going to pick up a Harith for the gold lane or something very out of the ordinary. But RQ calls the bluff right there, and they're like, yeah, I think we know what you're going for here. So they ban out the Harith, they ban out the Claude, and now Zipex kind of, you know, he's really got to think about this. Is that Clint?
He was hovering over the Moskov.
Well, kind of a bit of a sneak peek here. It's a bit unfair.
He just goes for it. He's like, I'm going to full send it. I'm going with it. Now, it doesn't have the best win rate here, but this, again, could just be that comfort pick for Zipex. Goes and rather goes for the Clint there than something spicy that we've seen so far. Like that Moskov, it was selected, but this is probably the better choice, right? Again, you have a lot of CC. You need to be able to follow up, and now that's the thing, Arashi. Is Clint the best option here? Does he have enough burst? How long does it take for this Clint hero to get to that point? Is it a 2-item, 3-item, 4-item marksman? How's it working?
I think Clint just has a very strong advantage in the early game, right? That trading potential is massive, and the wave clear as well with the passive. So I think Clint has a lot of potential. In the mid game though, I feel like he falters quite a bit before being yet another huge presence in the late game. And speaking of late game, Melissa has been selected by RRQ, and along with that is the Martis. So again, the mind game is really paying off right here. You didn't really know what exactly was the final pick going to be, but now you see the lineup is coming through. A lot of crowd control immunity and a lot of outplay potential, right? The movement and the denial that RRQ is very fond of, but that signature Franco pick, man, coming in for Falcon.
We've been waiting for that Franco pick. Quick notice, though, onto the gold lanes. You mentioned how Clint is supposed to be kind of strong in the early game, but now with this Melissa, you have such range, such poke in that laning phase. It's going to probably give Clint a little bit of a hard time. Now, Clint, not a whole lot of mobility in those team fights in the mid game, but he can, if he can get a good positioning. If the rest of his team can pocket around him, he can output a lot of damage, plus some nice true damage from the passive. So there is some possibilities. He builds with the Endless Battle, but it's going to come down to really big, how well can Naomi peel for him? How well can they stack that CC and protect him throughout that mid phase?
Well, I'm just wondering, you know, with that last pick from Falcon, if we're going to take a trip to Hook City again, because the highlights, man, that guy had, it just seemed unreal. And I know RRQ is probably prepared for that. And I like the Melissa pick as well, because we actually saw this yesterday, the interaction that Ultimate provides, that micro decision, and a lot of times turns the tides for those team fights, especially when we're talking about lately we've seen so many under turret plays, whether they're looking for the sandwich angle or they're just trying to collapse down on a tier 1 turret even, and that's crucial. You know, if you have that in your repertoire basically to work with it, and the Melissa is that great pick, but still, I was talking about CCs from Falcon. RRQ Hoshi has great CC as well, but we are loading up into the land of Dawn here for the first series of the day. RRQ Hoshi versus Falcon.
Off the bat, Zipex with a very aggressive emblem choice here. The killing spree being used to ensure that, I guess he can go a bit more aggressive and chase for those very, very valuable kills in the early game. But R7 with the mystery shop, with the vengeance, as we mentioned, very dangerous, but Clay gets hooked in. The sustain will be enough, but Falcon already showing dominance in this early game.
Yeah, already a big hook, already a lot of aggression from the side of Falcon, and this is exactly what we wanted to see. This is exactly what we thought they would bring.
Well, off to a decent start. I mean, it's a pretty stalemate right now.
Oh, big pick on Albert. He will be able to get away with ease, though, but it does look like they want to keep on bringing some aggression. Justin going to come up, trying to get the Terrify onto Vin. Ken moving in as well, bringing Vin down to about half health. He's going to try to get away with this. Gets a nice defense.
Wow.
Wait, will he get the dash? Ken trying to catch him, just can't, though.
Also, it's a very close situation, and this is why you can't really just go aggressive against Falcon, because they will punish you. And look at these hooks, man. Barely misses onto Clay, but of course that is so dangerous, and that is something that is going to be at the back of their minds right now.
There it is, right? I was just talking about that in the draft. Falcon is ranked first in first blood rate with 93.33%. 14 out of 15 games. No one's claimed it just yet, but both teams going to work on the first turtle.
Most definitely Ken trying to get a nice position here, but in comes Albert. The appraisal's racked up, lands down, and Ken's able to take the turtle. Nice pick, but the battle does still pursue. Albert goes down, Vin may just be next, caught in the middle of 4. That is another kill for Ken, putting them at 1-0-1. First blood plus another to the side of Falcon.
So they maintain that statistic, and let's take a look how that worked out for the Mirashi.
Getting 3 more items here. Of course, Zipex has some more life steal here, but R7 trying to go in against Ken. Unfortunately, he's getting too low. The vengeance is spot, but it won't be enough.
That is huge, but Albert wants to keep on pushing it. Ken gonna switch positions, but he's taken out by Clay. This could be bad for Albert, though. No, they find Naomi. Albert goes down to Justin, but now Justin trying to escape. Can't quite make it. The Brilliance comes out. They're on the chase. Wild Charge comes in. Yellow Flash goes down, and so does Justin. Yellow Flash actually still up. Ends up finding Clay there. Overall, a 2-for-1 trade. RQ fighting back.
On paper, RRQ has a lot more late game heroes, but this is what we've been talking about, right? Falcon trying to aggress, but RRQ is not backing down at all. They keep matching these plays, and they keep getting a bit of an exchange. It can work out, but like I said, it's a bit dangerous, especially if they start losing the tempo and letting Falcon get control of the game. Right now for both teams, the presence and the aggression has just ensured that invades are not happening, but if it's just a stalemate, I think Naomi with the hooks has a bit more advantage, but the card control immunity does come in solid here.
The other thing that, I mean, just in the last couple minutes here, again, this is going back to that tempo, right? Pace set by Falcon, but RRQ doing a good job at pretty much matching it, but at the same time, look at Justin, right? He has those 3 kills already. He's running the mystery shop here. He's going to be able to scale up really well on this Valentina early on, and how will that play a part? You're going to have to see it as Falcon Esports adjust into especially the mid-game. But right now, this minor advantage that Falcon has is going to play out, especially in the objectives. Now, because Albert is playing that Martiz, you're able to kind of bob and weave out of these situations the best you can. And if they get whittled down here from Falcon Esports, the decimate is huge, but the fight breaks out.
Yeah, we got to keep eyes on Naomi here, waiting for that hook to come in. Yellow Flash into the backside. R7 trying to do the same thing here. Turtle does reset, so Ken going to try to push forward. Naomi just holding down in this bush. A nice hook does land onto Vin there. In comes the suppression, but Vin able to get out. Responds with a wild charge, and down goes Naomi. Ken will be next. It's a 2-for-0 trade, a double kill going to the side of Clay.
After a solid turtle pit dance, RRQ somehow find the big engage, and despite having the less dynamic, the less fast engage with that rock pick, Vin was able to find an amazing wild charge, and I think that was just what set the deal for RRQ. Falcon needs to make sure that they maintain distance, because otherwise RRQ have a lot more potential to burst them down and also go for those big engages. And quick mention on the items right here, R7 has the genius one. He's going for early DPS, trying to make sure that he can keep the game rolling long enough for Skylar to try and scale into that late game.
Not only that, but having that R7, having the Genius Wand already is going to scale really well, or complement really well Clay, especially as he's already quite bursty and has that magic penetration, but paired with that item, Falcon's going to be careful how they approach it, but Vin...
Yeah, Vin's going to try to come in, use the conceal play. Justin, though, here to help. Nice suppression onto Clay, will get wild charged up. Justin using one of his own. Now Zipx going to try to catch some distance. Getting that passive off, but Albert moving on to Justin here. Decimation locks in, and down goes Justin. Skylar and the rest of them are going to try to take this final tower. I mean, it's just one tap away as Zipx and Naomi are pushed back to base.
It's just such a tough situation to be in, man. RRQ, they do it yet again. Even though Justin was able to secure a counter engage using the stolen wild charge, it's just not enough. There's not enough combo coming in, and Falcon really seems to be the one on the back foot here. They're losing to RRQ in terms of speed, and that's nice to mention. And this kind of matchup, speed will kill you. Tempo is of utmost importance.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't think much is going to happen here. R7's just too fast.
R7 is way, way too fast for sure. And this is why that Joy Tech is just so annoying, right? Again and again, he's just been able to dash towards the back line of Falcon, and they can pretty much, they can't really do anything to try and stop him. And in this early game, this is why it's so dangerous, because you don't have enough crowd control, you don't have enough burst damage, and this is why that Vengeance spell as well is just so annoying on a mobile hero like this Joy.
Yeah, we've seen Joy pop up so many times now, and I feel like that success rate is really apparent in the XP lane.
Vin will bite the bullet there. Yellow Flash trying to move on to Clay there. Will use Brilliance to get out. Falcon now taking cover over the turtle pivot. Albert trying to make it in. Will take the turtle. A beautiful retribution. Hook does land on to Skylar. Skylar trying to get away here. R7 now getting on to Zipx. Zipx goes down. Clay in a very bad situation. The taunt comes in. He finds him, but the battle still pursues under the purple buff. R7 trying to get them down. Albert will fall. A nice pick. Overall, a 3-for-1 trade, but RQ does take the turtle.
Ooh, it seems like Yellow Flash still wants to go for a bit more though, but R7, look at him just denying Justin any kind of presence, but he might just a bit of more than he can chew. But no, he is able to escape with the mobility, and despite getting the turtle, RRQ got punished heavily in that fight.
That's the best thing they can do, right? I mean, if they're able to get those objectives here for RRQ, at least you have that going for you into the mid-late game transition. So, but what we're seeing again is the pretty much the pendulum of tempo between both these teams. First, it was Falcon, RRQ got it back, and now it's Falcon once again.
But a nice hook does come in. Wild charge coming down from Vin. Brilliance comes out. Naomi taking a little bit of damage. Yellow Flash does secure a tower, though, on the top side. Albert now coming to help out the team. RQ will disengage. Falcon taking a little bit of revenue, though, in the mid and the top lane.
So they hold on to it. It's one hit away there on the bottom side, tier 1. Still looking for a map advantage here. Naomi!
Ooh, R7 should be able to get away from this, but it is a lot of damage from Zipx. He's going to need to be careful because Falcon is hovering down this bot lane.
Every time Falcon gets an engage, RRQ, it seems like their go-to response is to fight fire with fire and aggress back. And this is making it very difficult for Naomi to get a lot of value with these iron hooks. Because even if someone gets hooked, they don't back away. They all go in at the same time. And with Clay, for example, having the immunity with the Brilliance order is just going to allow him to just buy so much more time. And Falcon is definitely struggling to deal with this, but they still are sitting at a 2K gold lead, and that is significant, especially with how they play.
Well, this is big, right? Zipx finally getting that BOD. A first Lord of the Game is going to be up here. Justin holding on to that wild charge. Everybody, not sure if they want to commit to this just yet. It is going to be Ken and Albert dancing around it. But you see everybody managing the waves the best they can before they get in position for the fight here. Ken and Albert still at a stalemate. And also Naomi waiting patiently there. I think he did spawn out R7. but still looking for the best advantage point for both teams. Yellow Flash getting vision as well. Who goes for it first?
Yeah, I mean, Falcon loves to start these Lords first, try to push them in, but wait a second, Naomi locks on, Vin takes a lot of damage, and the stolen wild charge, Vin goes down, Albert now trying to lock in the back line, Naomi goes down, Albert on the run though as Ken and Justin try to chase, Yellow Flash on the bot side, trying to lock on to Clay here, Clay does get stunned, will get stunned again, but Yellow Flash is just here to delay, Albert finds the backside though and locks down Justin, Zipex taking a lot of damage, R7 finds him! Be bad. Ken now moving on to R7. It's a bloodbath, boys. Clay goes down. Overall 3 for 2 still, but a fight still pursues. RQ on the backside. Ken back onto the Lord.
Falcon with a very intelligent approach right here. Every time Naomi is able to get an engage, Vin counters with the wild charge. So right there, they used everything to ensure that Vin gets taken out before he's able to do anything. And in retaliation, in the beginning of the fight at least, RRQ was only able to secure the kill onto Naomi, but I think Falcon needs to be careful when the fight drags on like that, because Zipex, if he is getting jumped on by R7 with no protection, that is game over for him.
Yeah, I'm thinking the exact same thing, man. You know, we saw that there. R7 just unleashing on the backside, especially in those extended fights. And once again, we find ourselves in the Lord dance. Both teams still looking for positioning. Pretty much more or less the same thing. Is it going to be Naomi that lands the hook here first? As everybody gets situated, Zipex trying to get that orange buff. Lord's going to go ahead and reset. No one pushing the go just yet.
Yeah, nobody pulling that trigger just yet. Skylar is going to kind of dance around. We got to keep our eyes on Naomi. He seems to be the initiator. The major problem here is, as Arashi said, Zipex hasn't come online in this mid-game. The Clint just doesn't seem as fearsome, and without him, they just can't output the damage.
But you can see, tanky items are being built by the side of Falcon, so the damage, the burst potential from RRQ is slowly but surely dissipating. And as you mentioned, Zipex is only going to get stronger and stronger. So I think for the most part, it's going to be in the hands of R7. You see that once he pops his ultimate, the electrifying beats, that's where Falcon just gets a bit more bold and they make a play onto him.
Nice play too. R7 going to finally go down. You're fast, but not fast enough. Ken now. Here comes the conceal play. Watch for Naomi. They're going to claim over this Lord Pit. RQ force to back off. Zipex holding the back line, getting some nice shots off. A lot of damage on the Finn. Zipex finds it. Skylar using the go away along with the Brilliant, doing a lot of damage, but he's taken out by Justin. Clay will fall next. It's a 4-for-0 trade, and the Lord will go to Falcon.
RRQ, man, they just don't know when to back down. They lost the initial engage, they got their members picked off, they still went for the 4v5, for the 3v5, and eventually they pay for a 4-for-0, and Falcon, they jump on the opportunity, they secure the neutral objective, and they're getting turrets left and right. What a disastrous moment for RRQ.
Big disaster there, and at the same time, Zipex just picked up the Malefic Roar, so now this damage for that Clint's going to be even more online at this point. And it's crucial, right? RRQ is going to have to defend against this one. Yes, they were down a member earlier on. They still decided to fight it. Look at the gold lead already for Falcon as they press the issue into the base here.
Yeah, but with Skylar, they should be able to melt down this Lord. It is just Lord 1, Yellow Flash with the split, keeping them at bay. One minion still stands. Zipex getting a couple passive shots, trying to make them onto this base. Can't quite connect just yet. Falcon now moving up to the top side here. R7 going to come into the backside. Vin uses a conceal play, trying to find someone, or maybe just trying to create some space, but Falcon doesn't want to give it up. A nice hook does come down. Vin tries to survive, and Zipex takes him out. R7 forced to retreat. Justin falls, though. Clay able to capitalize. This could be bad. Skylar moving in. Yellow Flash goes down next. Albert finds it, but Naomi then finds him. This is what we call pushing the tempo.
Another hook, but R7's still going to press it on.
He wants to keep pushing. Zipex can't get away from it. R7! Man, this joy is online. Ken and Naomi forced to retreat. Clay with his back, but R7 keeps on pushing under 2 towers. But the hook comes in. Falcons trying to climb something, but just can't.
They just keep fighting and fighting, and eventually they will come out on top. This is the RRQ playstyle, and it's so nerve-wracking because you have no idea what's going to happen. What is for sure though is that the marksman right here is just playing such a key role in these big team fights, man. Whenever Skylar is able to free hit, you see that Falcon just start getting shredded. But if you can see, if Zipex is the one left alone, he is the one dealing that damage. So it just seems like for both teams, the pickoff, the burst is what matters, right? If Falcon can get a pickoff first, RRQ start to falter. But if RRQ can get to the back line, that is where Falcon are forced to retreat with all their members unless they want to lose Zipex or Justin.
I just think it's so perfect that basically this matchup comes down to tempo, and you have the joy here with the beats, right? For us all. So, you know, that's how we saw it unfold. But, I mean, you make good points here, Arashi, and at the same time, you have to take note, RRQ with that play, that defense and initiation, they whittled down that gold lead. What, 5K at one point here for Falcon? So now they put themselves in a position again where they can be very confident in this next Lord coming up in about 10 seconds. And really, if they can find a pickoff early on, that's going to be the best case for them. R7 already picking up a Divine Glaive here. Finn with the Immortality. Those are crucial for this next Lord fight.
It's just how they play, man. They go for a solid late game picks, but they just keep going at you and trade kills, and they're going for a fight again.
Ooh, that is a big resource wasted. Vin trying to get the wild charge down. Suppression does lock on to R7, but he may be able to escape this. Has the shield. He's not trying to escape. He wants to find a kill, and he finds it, but he pays the price. Yellow Flash is going to lock on. He's sitting on top of Albert right now. Ken goes down to the backside. Skylar finds a beautiful angle, and now they're going to disengage a 2-for-1 trade to the side of RRQ.
Honestly, man, the DPS coming from RRQ is just so lethal right now. Melissa and a Lunox in the late game is the worst of both worlds for the members of Falcon, but Naomi still finds that hook, man. It's insane.
Definitely insane, but the hooks just don't seem to be enough right now. Play will take the Lord. Yellow Flash will get knocked up. Vin gonna go down to the Immortality. Won't survive that one. Yellow Flash, though, is on top of Albert here. He's gonna try to back off, but Skylar found him. Locked on. Yellow Flash forced to flash away. This is looking a little grim for Falcon.
So as you're seeing these fights break out here, Skylar is just able to unleash, right? A lot of the times it's R7 doing what Joy does best. It's a distraction. You distract the enemy team here, you whittle them down, Clay is that burst, and Skylar's just kind of in the back, you know, unleashing here. Now, Falcon Esports, if they want to turn the tide here, first, they need the successful defense against this Lord in the mid lane, do their best there, and then from at that point, they've got to get past the R7 issue, and it's honestly going to come down to that lockdown. That's what we've been seeing with the Bloody Hunt combination or the hooks here, but now here's the Lord in the mid side.
Yeah, I like the fact that they tried to get it down as much as possible before it connects onto the inhibitor. RQ going to play it very disciplined here. They know their advantage isn't so great just yet, and that, I think, is where Falcon messed up in their last push. They stayed a little bit too long.
And look at the waves here being manipulated by RRQ. They're making sure that it all comes at the same time. You can see that Falcon is being split up quite a bit, but RRQ, they won't be able to get a pick-off unless they want to go under the turret. That is a bit too bold from them. They will show discipline and back away. And I think that's what's very important, Naisu. Like you said, rationing your crowd control to ensure that the right targets don't get to have a role in the big fight is so critical for Falcon.
Well, you can chalk that up as a successful defense now that both teams have had. But look at Falcon. They're going to go ahead and look for a pick. They know that Albert's there, but they still have to be very cautious on how they approach it. Ooh. That's going to be an Iron Hook missing. Albert knows where they are. The purple buff fight's going to ensue. But it looks like it was taken by Ken.
But then he gets knocked up. Will go down. Skylar starting to output a lot of damage, melting down Yellow Flash as well. Justin trying to escape here. The rest of the team on the wall. Maybe want to try to re-engage this. Naomi uses the conceal play, another material down. RQ possibly going for the re-engage. Here comes the conceal play. R7 Hook pushing the front side. Wall does come down. This will secure the first inhibitor for RRQ.
It's such a tough situation. The tankiest members from the side of Falcon, Glue as well as at Fredrin, they have a very good mix of defensive, physical and magical defense. But at this point, with the Divine Glaives coming in, with a full slot, a full item Melissa, it's just not enough. The longer the fight goes, the more the DPS of RRQ is going to show out to just make that difference. So Falcon needs to find the right targets at this point. If they want to trade members, it might just benefit them, because at the end of the day, if the DPS members from both teams are taken out, the members with the tankier, the more sustainable heroes, like the Fredrin, like the Glue, can absolutely take control of that later stage of the fight.
Yeah, and this is the biggest thing, right? You see how much, you pointed out the Divine Glaives, Arashi, how much magic damage and burst is there from RRQ. That's why Falcon's forced to take, you know what, they had 3 Athena shields across the board, couple Radiant armors here, but still they're finding it hard to even contest in a lot of these fights just because they can't get to the back line. And that's the struggle that Justin has to solve, or even Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi tries to lock on to Vin, but once again, he's using it on the tank. Immortalities will pop. Ken will go down. Naomi now on the run, but R7 doesn't want to let it happen. Back onto the river, though. A little bit of a fight ensues. Skylar gonna chase down Justin. Justin goes down. Yellow Flash looking for Clay, but the Brilliance comes out and stops
R7.
Zipex. Goes down R7 all the way in enemy territory under the base, and that there is the problem. The lack of mobility from that Clint just can't go against R7 now. They are going to focus on Yellow Flash. That is a 5-man wipe. The Immortality does pop. Tries to use the Winter Truncheon. Don't think he's going to get away from this one. RQ will move on to the base, and that is it for game 1 in a best of 5.
You can hear the crowd as RRQ takes first blood in the series.
There we go. So, game 1 goes to the RRQ. To be honest, it was a close fight. There was an instance wherein Falcon was kind of dominating the game, but RRQ answering back and taking the game. Daniel, what's up, Daniel? That Joy, right? I think that Joy popped off. You saw that part wherein Joy was chasing three opponents alone onto the enemy's tower. So, let's have a chill watch. Let's relax for now. Our heart, there's still more exciting games. This is going to be, for today, we're going to have 3 matches. Alright? After this match, it's going to be the Valley versus Onyx. And then after the Valley versus Onyx, the third match is going to be the winners of these 2 matches. So, let's chill for now. That was the game 1. Game 1 goes to the RRQ. Let's chill. Relax for now, man. Because I know we're gonna see a lot of insane fights and plays today. Yeah. Today is the day that we're actually gonna know which team is gonna face who's gonna face the loser on the Echo versus Blacklist match. Whoever loses on the Echo versus Blacklist match, they're gonna face the champion of, well, not really the champion. They're gonna face the team that's gonna come out on top on today's matches. TV is the next match. TV versus Onyx is the next match. The Valley versus Onyx is gonna be the next match on this one. Whoever wins on this one, they're gonna move to the next stage. And then, whoever wins on the Valley versus Onyx, they're gonna fight the guys who's the winner of this fight. Third match is BL versus Echo? I don't think so. Really? Is the third match gonna be BL versus Echo? I think that's a bit early. Really? Third match is BL versus Echo already? Oh, snap. We're gonna check. Shout out Seime Kagura. You look like Quandle Dingle. Who's Quandle Dingle? Kerry, Valentina, and Eve are getting nerfed badly. Eve deserves that nerf, man. Even Valentina. Valentina is so fun, though. There's so many surprises when you're using Valentina. The heck, Elgin, is your name Eric? My name's Elgin, man. Shout out Kuya Elgin. Benji, what's up? My real name's Elgin. So we're gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna check. Sinend ko yung schedule. What? Yeah, I checked the schedule though. Wait, let me see. Wait. Echo Blacklist. Who's your all-time favorite hero to play? Kagura is my all-time favorite hero to play. So it's gonna be RRQ. So today is also gonna be Blacklist versus Echo. Dang it! I was looking at the link, man. So it's gonna be the Valley versus Onyx after this match, and then Echo versus Blacklist on the last match. We are sorry for that mistake. I was looking at the link. Classic though. What? Who do you think wins Onyx? Spell attic while looking down? What? Nah, man, that's bad. Shout out to Undeniable. So game 1. RRQ. We're gonna be waiting for the next game. Elgin, predictions. The Valley versus Onyx. Sky. I mean, Onyx. I'm sorry for the Valley fans, but I do think Onyx is the better team. But the Valley is like the protagonist, right? The Valley is like the MC. So who knows? Maybe the Valley will surprise us. But based on the stats, Onyx is the better team than the Valley. But it's just the stats, man. Who knows? Like I said, the Valley was getting like anime flashbacks and getting power ups. The Valley felt like they were the MC of an anime, man. They were doing so bad at the beginning, but then suddenly they're doing good. It's like they had an anime flashback about their history and whatnot. Yeah, third match is gonna be Blacklist versus Echo. I miss old Kagura. Yeah, old Kagura was also nice, man. Which one are you supporting, Black or Onyx? Well, probably Black, because, we're from PH ourselves. But as long as the other team gives a good fight, man, if that other team showed us, like yesterday, Onyx gave a good fight against Echo. That fight wherein Kyrie pulled that insane play, man. They deserved to win that match. Only that match though. But Echo proved to be the better team. Oh, it's Friday the 13th right now. Any bad luck? Yeah. Based on the stats, I do think that Onyx has the more stable and experienced team as compared to the Valley. But like I said, the Valley has been getting anime flashbacks recently. Who knows? Maybe the Valley will surprise us. But on that match though, Onyx versus the Valley is definitely the underdog. Onyx beat 5. Benji. Pani Main from USA, what's up? TV, the Valley has that main character kind of vibe. A lot of the people there's a lot of people supporting the Valley, but there's also a lot of people who does not have a good opinion about the Valley's hype. still, props to them for pulling this far, man. For coming this far. Sui. Kyrie. I hope 5-game series today. Yeah, this all of the games is gonna be best of 5. As soon as Mobile Zane recalls, you know the game is over. Proven fact. Will Fanny be the worst assassin after this new patch? On the airborne and suppress? I'm not sure, man. But it's not just it's not just Fanny who's gonna have a hard time with that suppress. It's actually a buff. It's a buff on suppress skills. So Hayabusa will also have a hard time with those suppression with that suppress buff skill. I'm not Benji. Say it to Munto. I'm not a Munton staff though, man. If TV starts snowballing, there's no stopping them. Yo, I got some questions. What is the best hero for rank up in solo queue? Rank up in solo queue, I guess, make use of the meta heroes. Like Carry, Martis. Who else? Joy, if you're able to pick Joy. Eve, Valentina. I mean, those meta heroes are getting banned for a reason, and there's so many heroes to ban that some of the meta heroes can slip through. Fredrin, make use of goddamn Glue. I think Glue is kind of hard to use though in solo queue. What do you guys think? Leo Mord, right? Ano rank mo now, Elgin? On the previous season, we were MG. MG on the previous season, but everything. Layla strong now. I mean, give Layla a dash, and I will use Layla a lot if Layla has a dash. I mean, I will use the Layla hero on the game a lot if she's given a dash. Good morning, Yosef. What's up? Mincy is the best counter for Joy. Oh, definitely the revamped Mincy. Not only can you counter Joy with Mincitar now, but Mincitar also has some damage. So usually Mincitar is only picked to counter other heroes, but this time with the revamp of Mincitar, you can also just use him for just using him. What's your favorite Philippine food? It's Dave Bang. It's tortang talong. It's an eggplant with an egg. Eggplant omelette, I think. Vedant Gurav, good morning. How are you? We're doing good. We're starting things slow for now. Let's start things slow. Take it slow. It's just the first game. It went to the RRQ. How? Do you think Gatot is still a good hero to use? Yeah, some of the heroes, just because they're not in the meta does not mean they can't be effective. If you love playing the hero, man, and you think you can actually play that hero well as compared to the other meta heroes, then go for it. Sometimes it works. But I know, right? There's just some really bad hero. The old Hanabi. Even I think the revamped Hanabi is just... There's just so many other that's a better option. Yesterday they kinda gave a match against Kerry by using Moskov, but it was working, but then it failed. That's the second time we saw someone trying to match Kerry with Moskov. The first one failed badly. The second one, which is from yesterday, kinda worked, actually worked. It's just that the other team just won. Insights in Veil. Can he be in meta? Nah. I mean, Veil is not meta right now. Like I said, just because the hero is not in meta, if you like the hero, man, and if you're, there's also the skill gap, right? If another player is using a meta hero, oh snap, ads. Cherkun, why do we suddenly have ads again? How many more minutes to the next game? 9 minutes? What the? What? Why is it suddenly? Why is the time on get that? What are you doing? So anyways, like I was saying, for example, another player is using the meta hero, but you're like the master of Veil. You've been using Veil ever since you were born. You were playing Veil the moment you came out of your mommy's thingy, right? So you have the better chance to win, even if the other hero is using the meta, because meta heroes always changes. So if you love I love Kagura, man. But still, I think sometimes one of the best times to use the meta hero is when you're playing with your squad. If you have a 5-man team, that's really a fun time to make use of the meta heroes, because. But like I said, just because a hero is not in the meta does not mean it won't be effective on ranked games. Kagura sucks now. I love Kagura, man. But yeah, Kagura is not in the meta, but I love playing Kagura. What's your favorite hero? It's Kagura. Is Angela still being used in Legend rank? Yeah, we still see Angela. Especially with Leomord. I mean, Leomord is kinda OP right now. Leomord is kinda in the meta right now. And with an Angela there, that old combination of Leo and Kagura still goddamn works. What's your current rank, Elgin? We were MG on the previous match. We MG on the previous season pala. On the previous season. Just pray you don't pair. Yeah, that's one of the hard things on solo queue. Main ko Kuya Cho. Cho has been one of the consistent meta heroes in the pro scenes. You see Cho a lot in M4. You see Cho a lot in M3. You see Cho a lot in M2. A lot, super a lot in M1. So that's how. Charlie Rigdao Garcia, what's up? Master Grandmaster. Yeah, we're Master Grandmaster. You miss Jack no Cho. The reason we're starting early today is because we have 3 matches. Yeah, we all have we all have our opinions on the heroes. Do you have any plans in joining in esports scene? Probably no. Hello. We're more of an esport. We're more of an content creator. It's hard to do content creator job. You know, uploading daily stuff on YouTube and also going pro. You have to focus on one thing. Perhaps to you if you can perform both of those things and succeed in both of those fields at the same time. But for us, man, that's really hard. Who's your main hero in every role? It depends. We do adjust. We usually jungler. We do We also do jungler roles. Roam. I rarely do marksman. Can I draw you? Sure. Draw me like your French ladies. Is that that line from Leonardo? Draw me like your French girls, ladies, bitches. No. What role do you mean? I usually, for if I want to rank up, I make use of the meta. I adjust because sometimes there's three of us, Ayok and Dang. But if I'm playing solo queue just for fun, if I'm playing solo queue just for fun, I will use Kagura mid mage. If mid mage was taken, I would use Jawhead, because I love throwing people. I love flipping off enemies. Flip off your allies. Flip off your enemies. It's like flipping burgers with Jawhead. So solo queue for fun, I use Kagura and Jawhead. Flip. I will flip you to Mars, man. Blacklist last? No, not yet. The Jawhead shirt. I like it when my allies don't buy the anti-throw. Because you can sometimes throw your allies to safety. Or if given the chance, throw your allies inside a clash for a good setup. Rarely happens though. And some of the teams teammates usually buy the anti-throw Jawhead, which is no fun. Is it true that Kadita is getting a MPL skin? I am not sure. Dream anime collaboration, mine Fairy Tail. Yeah, Fairy Tail is kinda nice as well. Echo, loud and proud from Good God. Do you prefer solo, Mr. Elgin? No, not really. I think trio. How do you say that? Is good enough because you have you. It's fun having synergy with other heroes. I think that's one of the fun parts. If you're not playing solo queue, one of the fun parts with playing with your homeboys is that you can think of team synergy. I love Atlas and Kagura. Atlas's ultimate, ooh, and then Kagura's combo wombo. Atlas's combo wombo and Kagura. If Atlas performs a good set, that's like, man. But to be honest, there's a lot of good follow up for Atlas's ultimate. There's a lot of also other heroes that can perfectly follow up Atlas's ultimate. Just don't have a Diggy on the other side, man. Farid Zin, do you plan to play? Nah, not really. We actually get offers from that game. We get offers from that game, but buts, a lot of buts. Echo versus Black, same PH. Who will win? Ooh. Echo versus Black on the last game. Yeah, also, it's hard to combo on Kagura's ultimate when they have dash. I love baiting Saber though with Kagura. I love baiting Saber's ultimate with Kagura. Because Saber can't burst Kagura down if you time your second skill. If you time your second skill onto his ultimate, and then once you jump out, you can turn the tables. Like reverse Uno card. Because once you dash out of Saber's ultimate, it's the perfect time to pull your combo. But some of the other Sabers are smart. Some Sabers are smart. They don't spam their ultimate on Kagura, knowing that Kagura will just dash out and sometimes they will fake. Some Sabers will fake. Kain ko Elgin. Ooh. Saber just dash. Yeah. This some sabers do fake that, knowing that Kagura will just. Kaluki, what's up? Mayo. High and dry Khalid nightmare on EXP. Here we go. 2 more seconds. Is the draft pick? Why is the break this time so long? Yeah. Sneak Conwar, what's up? LPM Gaming. What? RRQ paused the break. 1-0 again. That was just the first game. I know. Usually the breaks isn't that this long. Come on, man. Let's go. I'm not sure why did it take so long as compared from yesterday. Especially today since we have 3 matches, man. Go straight to the draft. Oh, here we go. Again, guys, once the draft pick starts, we're gonna shut up and listen to the game so that we can hear the shoutcaster's thoughts. Brother from another mother, Mara Aquino. Justin Cereza, what's up? Angela. We have not yet seen Angela in here. Lower bracket? Nah, this is best of 5. All of the games is gonna be a best of 5. Will Freya be played in M4? Nope. Freya has not yet showed up in M4. Once the draft pick starts, we're gonna shut up and listen to the shoutcaster's thoughts on the draft pick that's currently happening. Who's the most picked hero in M4 Elgin? Carry has been picked a lot because there are priority bans. Yeah, this is the lower brackets, guys. Whoever loses is gonna get eliminated. They're gonna have to go home. Ooh, probably. Because Carry has a high pick rate and high win rate on this M4. For some reason, she keeps on sleeping the bans. All my top teams were correct. Ooh, nice. Joy is usually a priority ban as compared to Carry. More of a priority ban compared to Carry. We actually rarely see Joy being able to play because of the bans and stuff. I bet $20 on Falcon. Please don't make me. Come on, man, start. I would love to see a new Cho skin, even though he already has a lot of Cho skin. Ooh, 2 coaches now. Come on, man, start. Sure, Benji. What's the current score? RRQ 1-0. Took them so long to start, though. Okay, here we go. I think it's starting.
Statistics. They have that first blood rate. They have the aggression, but when it comes to some of the micro mechanics in those team fights, they got a little sloppy in game 1. They overstayed their welcome in the first push, and then as we went into more Lord fights, they always seem to be the ones who want to try to engage the Lord first. They always seem the ones who want to start the fight. And yes, that can be great, but sometimes you want to play a little bit more reactionary, and when they engage in these fights, they got a little bit too spread out. Yellow Flash would try to go to the back line, and then out of nowhere, the rest of his team is getting invaded by R7, and then they're not able to catch up to Yellow Flash. So it just seemed like they need to bring it in a bit more, tighten up a little bit more. Yes, be aggressive, but be aggressive as a unit, and if your plan fails and you hook the wrong person, you have to know when to disengage.
Exactly, just knowing the tempo and the flow of the fight, right? When the things are not working in your favor, they need to know when to back up, and when things are working for them, they have to know when to actually punish RRQ for maximum value. And on the note, by the way, about Clay versus Justin in the stats, Clay has always been a lot more reactive, but sometimes not in the way that you would expect, because he was playing defensively on Yves, but on that Lunox, he wasn't diving in, he wasn't trying to get those pickups. All he did was escort Skylar, so anyone who dives towards the back line gets a good chunk of burst damage coming in, both physical and magical, and that is a huge deterrent to anyone just trying to go in and denying that backline damage. So something like that can be actually applied by Falcon as well in game number 2.
Oh, great points here from both of you, and you know, we're already here. Few bans out for both teams. There's the third one for the first phase from Falcon. They're going to take out the Joy. Great choice here. The Eve and the Carry. Pretty much 3 picks that are better taken out, right? Especially if you have this play style. And now you don't have to worry about the Joy just kind of causing havoc in the backside. And RRQ, they take out the 1-1. They take out the Faramis. I feel like even Faramis is still kind of one of those picks that if you leave it open, you're forced to play against that Colt Altar, so better to take out the 1-1. I'm wondering if it's going to be another marksman choice here. It's not, it's the Kadita for their last ban.
Kaj is open. Kaja is open right now, and that is something that both teams either always ban or always pick, and Falcon is going to lock that in immediately. And I think this could definitely be huge, but you could tell they were taking a while with that third ban, and I'm guessing that's the debate, right? It's like, if we really want to ban this Kadita, do we give them the Kaja? What do we get in response? Glue, still open, couple choices, still free for them, but yes, a lot on the line with that.
You know, even with this Kaja lock-in here, and from what we saw previously from RRQ, and I feel like this was when I say refinement of RRQ, their playstyle, I'm talking about their macro playstyle. You pointed this out earlier, you know, Falcon goes in with that aggression, but if something can be said about RRQ, the fact that they've learned to deal with that push and pull play style, especially on the macro level, it's apparent from the way that these games go. And taking a look at Ken here, this quote, "I think I want to meet RRQ Hoshi because we are good friends. At MSC 2022, RRQ said they wanted to meet us in the grand finals, but it didn't happen. So now I want to beat them," right? So strong words from Ken.
Massive confidence from Ken for sure. Now we have to see, will he get a hero that just really benefits him? It is going to be that Martis, and we've seen Ken just completely dominate on such a very strong aggressive pick. And now with the Kaja, there's a potential for Falcon to just do so much more early game, because RRQ, once again, going for that Lunox very early on, can still be flexed out, but Falcon also has their hands on that Harith that is a lot more dynamic, a lot more AoE and burst damage compared to a Clint.
Most definitely, and I think, I'm wondering with this Harith, yes, it could be a flex pick, but honestly, I just feel like it's going to the gold lane, right? I don't think we've seen Harith mid. Have we seen Harith mid at all yet, this M4?
This M4, I'm not sure, but we've seen it before.
Of course it's possible, yes, but I got a feeling Zipex has played it before. He's done well with this. Not a whole lot of flexibility on the side of Falcon. Yes, it is there, but I don't think we're going to see it. Now, Grok will get locked in here, and with the glue pick already, my guess is the Grok will be Rome here. Now, the Lunox pick, right? Up front, they don't waste any time, they pick it up. They had a great game with it last time. How do you feel about it, Nicer?
Lunox is, I mean, the damage, the burst potential is always there. One thing that I like most about it, and I feel like it's a little underappreciated, is just the brilliance relationship with a lot of, I mean, the way that you can have that advantage in terms of those early skirmishes, those fights. I mean, a lot of the times you can bait out quite a few ultimates. And again, going back to macro playstyle and even on the micro level, that's usually what we've seen here. I mean, from teams at this caliber at this point in the knockout stage. So Lunox still a solid choice, but even more so. I mean, you've got Glue, you've got Grok, you have that front line pretty much under control, and not to mention, I mean, we've seen some crazy things just alone from Grok with the wild charge setups or even the split from Glue. So already the first 3 choices are solid here for RRQ, whereas I feel like, again, Falcon specifically, you rely, anytime you have a Kaja, you are relying on that pick potential, that Divine Judgment, and I mean, if you have to use it defensively for a peel, then you don't have that advantage anymore. So you want to be able to match that up, right? Now, if this is that Harith most likely going in the hands of ZipX, we've seen Harith fall off really early on if you can't get those kills, and then you're just left with pretty much Zaman Force, you know, bouncing back and forth, and your damage just isn't there.
I think RRQ for sure understands that as well. They know that Falcon, they have a lot of pick potential. They have a strong jungler, a strong roamer with great crowd control, but they also need a strong mid laner to supplement that, to ensure that the mid lane isn't constantly shoved on, and to ensure that they have a numbers advantage if they are roaming around as well. 3 bans onto Justin, the main playmaker, and you have to wonder right now, in his shoes, what exactly can he go for? Because for the most part, right, the bulk of the quote-unquote meta heroes has been banned away. And Justin, we've seen that on more passive heroes, he really does not shine as brilliantly as he usually does on these playmaking heroes.
Definitely interesting, and I'm thinking the same thing. What does Justin go for here? The Kadita, the Valentina, the Farza, the Yve, all picked off. So there's not that, I mean, I don't think there's any more like zone area heroes. Of course, the Harith could still get flexed over, but definitely limiting down there onto his hero pool.
I think the only thing that I'm thinking of is maybe Lilia, right? But still, I guess it really depends where the Harith is going, and maybe still it's flex, but Lilia would be a good option. At least you can clear, you can push fast, and you still have, in a way, it's a pretty much the counter relationship between baiting out ultimates from RRQ, because that's what we talked about with Brilliance from Lunox. So if you have the Lilia, you have that Black Shoes, you can hopefully, if you can, juke some things out and then get that advantage, because then you fall back on that Kaja pick for the Divine Judgment. Still, a lot of it relies on what else do you have? You know, can you, because it's great if you can get a pick off, but if you don't have that follow-up damage to actually get those kills, that's where you struggle. So even more so, RQ goes again with this durability route. Not only do they have Glue and Grok, but now they have Frederick.
Now this is a bit troublesome for Falcon, because previously RRQ, they don't really have the strongest of front lines. They had Vin on that Grok with full defensive items, and now it's a complete contrast. They are the ones with 3 heroes, and Falcon will be the ones trying to attempt to actually crack through the front line, and that seems to be their exact approach. Having the Harith, Ranger, and Lilia, a strong mix of burst and DPS from multiple sources, right? Physical and magical. And in the late game, with items, Justin can definitely melt down multiple heroes at the same time. That is the power of the quote-unquote DPS of the Lilia. But for RRQ, there you go. Three solid frontline heroes, 2 very solid backline characters. It's going to be a front-to-back.
I will say the problem though with Falcon when I look at it is very all or nothing here. High risk, high reward. Yes, lots of damage in your jungle. They're going to flex that Martis over to the EXP lane, but also a little bit squishy. I feel like in the early game with the Lilia, they will have nice wave clear. We've seen how well she does. They can put pressure on early on, but if they fail in that, it could become a big issue. So far, the Granger, a lot of people have very high hopes of it, but we haven't seen a great performance from it just yet. Even the Valley, when they used it, it had a great start, but eventually it fell off, and same thing went for, who else used it yesterday? I think Kyle.
Did we see it being used during the RRQ Blacklist game? Perhaps.
We might have. But
There's
anyway,
so many things happening.
we're going to load into the land of Dawn here and just see how this game unfolds. Again, RRQ up 1 point in this best of 5. Can Falcon even the odds here?
There's going to be a killing spree on Ken with that Granger. I mean, he's used it before. We've seen that he is very good at kiting back, in particular, using this Granger. So considering that they're up against 3 very tanky frontline heroes, that DPS is definitely going to be coming in handy. But the Purifiers, you can see from the side of Falcon, will be critical in ensuring that ZipX and Justin do not get locked down. And you can tell that RRQ, they usually just rely on the pick of potential, so this is something that they have to keep in mind this time. Whoa!
No!
Well, I was wondering about that matchup, you know, the Martis versus Glue matchup here, how that would pretty much play out. But, I mean, he's going to have the advantage, but look at the rotation here. Naomi and Ken making their way to the bottom side for R7, but gets the information. Now, I do also want to say that the thing about Granger, we've seen some amazing gameplay from the hero alone in different hands here, but what we have taken, what we've seen is late game, eventually, even when you have a good start, Granger kind of falls off a little bit to the point where even the ultimate is, it's either you get that last killing blow or it just does no damage. And when you're talking about 3 tanky boys from RRQ, eventually it's going to be tough to deal with.
Yeah, but Ken doing a nice bit of damage. The problem is Naomi doesn't have that level 4 just yet. Falcon needs to at least wait for that, or at least wait for Justin to hit level 4 till they can really push the aggression.
Level 4 and Justin, that's definitely something they can try and attempt. They can be a lot more risky with their pushes. But on that point on the Granger, that is a very solid point. It's a very ability-reliant marksman. So in the early game, it's dangerous, and in the mid game, it's going to be very strong. But in the late game, Skylar on this Beatrix will be out-damaging him quite a bit. But in the early game, though, this is where it's dangerous for RRQ. You can see
Desanada didn't land the final one, though. R7 able to get away, and that is very important for RQ. As long as they don't let Ken pick up these early game kills, it'll be very good for them.
Yeah, right now, first turtle of the game going to be up here. Both teams just trying to get that advantage. R7's going to make his way here as it ensues, but Yellow Flash looking for an opening as well. Ken waiting patiently, a lot of poking going on. Here they go.
Nice retribution onto R7. R7 going to get dragged back in. Vin trying to find it, just can't. Justin picks up Vin and R7. That is huge. Albert, though, walks in and takes the turtle with ease. No sweat off his back.
That is 2 kills traded for the turtle. In a way, it's not the worst of trades, but definitely, I think, gonna be a bit of an advantage for Falcon in the early game, man. These heroes, the Lilia in particular, is just so strong. Building towards an enchanted talisman, not quite there just yet, but the cooldown boots you can see, Falcon is gonna be very ability reliant, and the longer the game goes towards that mid game, RRQ, they cannot be as reckless as they were in game number 1, because if Falcon gets snowballing, this team comp is a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the aggression from RRQ right now, trying to get into the jungle. This is the nest, right? Back to the keys to victory. They are trying to invade the nest here of Falcon and work around it, because honestly, Falcon has to also pay attention to Skylar. If they can find picks up there, give that little bit of advantage to ZipX, that's best case scenario for Falcon, especially mid-game, because you want to allow this Harith to get online as fast as possible, has that mystery shop too, so you can really play around those power spikes, those timings, and anything here, Arashi, that sticks out to you in terms of emblems.
Well, as usual, it's no real surprise because everyone wants to go for a bit more movement, but afterwards you can see an Avarice emblem being used by R7, so he knows that the lane is going to be scrappy. He will have opportunities to try and just whittle down the HP bars of Yellow Flash, so making full use of that. So there's going to be a faster power spike as far as items is concerned for R7, and quick note, he has a sprint instead of the Vengeance, so this is why he was able to be taken down so fast in the previous fight, but this also means that later on, he can stick to whoever he wants to. A glue on a split with a sprint.
Literally stick to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, that's usually what we see with just glues in general, but still, it's a good point because honestly, your whole objective here for R7 is to basically do the same thing we saw him do with Joy, right? Be just that annoying nuisance for Falcon. But right now, they're going to go ahead and fight for this second turtle of the game, half health.
Naomi able to lock onto Vin once again. Yellow Flash finds that kill. R7 trying to get into the back line with the split. Albert does take the turtle, though. Naomi taking a bit of damage. Ken goes down. Naomi and Yellow Flash now on the run. RQ responding fiercely.
That is quite catastrophic, man. Ken, the jungler, was the one that fell from Falcon, traded for Vin. This is the same thing we saw. Falcon, fearing the engage coming from Vin, targets him instead to ensure that there won't be a big wild charge. But in exchange, right, they leave their members vulnerable and out of cooldowns for RRQ to just punish afterwards. This is something that RRQ just really enjoys doing, and in Falcon, they just have to adjust and do something differently, man. Vin is ready to take the fall for his team.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually looking for an angle here. Not sure if he's going to commit, but the pressure alone is exactly what's working here for RRQ. I mean, even around the purple buff.
A lot of damage does come on to Albert, but he is a tanky boy along with Vin. Clay also being some kill threat. Zipex does drop the Zaman's Force, trying to lock on to Vin here.
Still
Gonna need
going.
to watch out for Skylar, though, doing a nice amount of damage. Ken and Naomi also here as well, but the disengage does happen.
So, I mean, this is the thing, right? Going back to that Granger pick, you want to have it for that early game advantage. The burst should be there, even in mid-game. But when you have this kind of a start, it's really tough here. And yes, these two are going to go at it here. I don't think anyone's going to go down. But still, it's a struggle for Ken at this point, especially because Albert now picking up that Radiant Armor. I mean, he's having a great game so far. Let's take a look at the items real quick here, Arashi.
Well, as you mentioned, Ken with the Hunter Strike, attempting to just get a lot more value, more chase, more slowdowns, and Justin now with the Enchanted Talisman, that's a lot of clear, a lot of DPS still. It only depends if RRQ actually stick around and crowd together for the damage to come through. And especially with the Radiant Armor completed for Albert, he's gonna be a lot more comfortable just staying in the pit, contesting those neutral objectives, is what you've seen happening since the first turtle.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that Zipex is just getting pushed in right now in his own lane, it is very, very bad, especially for this next neutral objective, because Skylar can now rotate down. And with that sniper, gonna bring Justin down to about half health. Vin with the conceal play, but mainly just opening up space, drops a wall. Ken does a nice amount of damage with Vin with a wild charge. Albert takes the turtle, and down goes Ken. Clay comes in, trying to do some damage. We do see Zipex drop the Zaman's Force, but it's still not enough. RQ taking claim over the land of Dawn.
It's been traded again for Ken, and that is just such a sad situation. Trading the roamer for the jungle again and again. And as Nyso mentioned, the mid-game is where Ken needs to shine and show the power of this Granger. But if he keeps getting picked off like this is not going well at all. RRQ finally increases the lead up to 1.6k gold. And in the midst of all that, they are still the ones able to find structures, turrets in the top and bottom lane. Falcon will slowly but surely lose control, and that is where RRQ shines, when they can set traps for their opponents in the bushes, and especially if you take a look at the items here, Skylar with the BOD, that's a lot of burst damage coming in from the Bandit's Rage or the Nibiru's Passion, so Falcon now needs to be very careful where they step, lest they get engaged on by Albert or Vin.
Not only that, okay, hold on, Vin.
Second wild charge does come down. Vin, though, will fall. Ken now moving on to Albert. Albert getting stunned up, getting slowed down, will get knocked up, able to dash through the wall, though. Naomi now trying to lock onto Skylar, but they find the distance. R7 with a huge stun onto 3 members. Snipe shot comes out, just misses. And now Falcon under the tower, no kills on the board other than Vin.
So that could have gone way worse for RRQ, but because of this lack of damage from Falcon, they weren't able to continue to follow up there. Now what's great, Ken was able to get a kill, right? Helps him a little bit in the itemization because earlier, before that, he was about 1,000 gold behind of Albert, plus about 2 levels. So, like you said, like we've been saying, he needs to be able to shine. There's the damage.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage, but he doesn't have the Death Sonata right now. Naomi trying to come into the backside. Justin as well, diving under the tower. Skylar tries to hit above, but cannot weave. Albert now moving on to Naomi. Naomi will fall. Albert, look for Justin. Death Sonata comes out, but still not enough damage. Justin doesn't have the black shoes. Needs to try to walk away from this. Gonna walk right into R7, though. He's able to move, but he goes down. It's a 2-for-2 trade on the map.
That is so unfortunate. RRQ, they're trying to just make an outplay happen, but Skylar, as well as Vin, they preemptively use a lot of their resources, including the wild charge, and that is just patience being shown by Falcon, just juking it out, showing them different looks in order to just bait out those spells before going in. It paid off for them. They closed in the gold gap by about 1k, but now it's back to square one. RRQ contesting the Lord now without the presence of Zipex to try and benefit Falcon in this fight.
And they are going to hold down. We got to watch for Naomi hiding out in this mid bush. One other thing, Falcon has taken a few towers across the map. Now they're all going to try to group up here. Vin brings in the wild charge. Naomi annihilated. Now RQ wants to move in. Albert able to take the Lord. R7 into the backside, but Falcon needs to try to retreat. Maybe they want to push in though. Zipex does dash in, drops Zaman's Force. Instantly deleted. The Redder takes him out. Yellow Flash will be next. Ken though does find Clay. 2 for 3 on the map currently as Ken and Justin need to get away from this. It's a well fight, but RQ comes out on top.
Okay, they grab a couple kills there again on both sides, but you gotta be cautious here for Skylar. He's getting to the point where he's going to start carrying the damage department for RRQ. They've got that nice gold lead here. Naomi has to be able to find Skylar as they assault the mid lane. Still, they also have to deal with this Lord marching on the top side.
On that point, Naisu, as you can see, Hunter Strike as well as the Malefic Roar. So any kind of physical defense being built by Falcon right now is going to start getting shredded through. We saw the damage come through in the previous fight, and now with the Lord coming in, you can see that RRQ, they're sieging, but Vin also looking for a play.
Oh, big wild charge with the flicker. Justin taken down. Saman's force does drop. Albert on the front side. Ken does find Vin. This is a good play. R7 going to come back in. Yellow Flash wants to lock him up. Fresh comes in, and R7 goes down. Falcon able to defend that push.
That's a 2-for-1 for Falcon, but RRQ with the Lord and the empowered waves pushing in, they were able to get so many turrets. So in a way, not the worst situation, but of course ideally when they're so far ahead, I say so far, but when they're 2k gold ahead against a team like Falcon, as much as possible, they want to reduce the amount of kills, the amount of gold they let go into the hands of Ken. Because you saw in that fight, that Death Sonata, especially to the squishier targets on the side of RRQ, it still does quite a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, it does quite a bit here. And right, this is your time if you're Falcon to step on the gas if you can, right? This starts with Naomi, find a pickoff, get that numbers advantage. You're still working against a gold lead here. Now you're able to get a couple more items like we take a look, on the proper people here for Falcon. But at the same time, you still have to worry about Vin, R7, Albert just taking the brunt of that damage. And even if you focus on Clay, you still have to get past that brilliance. You still have to get past everyone to get to Skylar. If they can get Skylar off the board here, they lose a big impact on damage for RRQ. Now still, it's going to be pretty much a stalemate until things transition in about 30 seconds for that next Lord here. But Falcon's going to have to get more space on the map. They've got only 2 turrets. So right now, RRQ with a huge advantage in terms of space.
And with that space, look at ZipX. He's not doing very hot in terms of kills, but look at his items, man. One more item, well, at least 2 more items actually, to get a full inventory slot. He is not too far.
Well, there's the
behind
Divine Blade.
Exactly, that's a lot of damage still. This is a quote-unquote late game Harith. He has the items available to be an actual threat to the tankier members, because remember, he does have a good amount of true damage in his kit. And along with that, Lilia with a Ice Queen's wand and a glowing wand, that is a nightmare for these beefy fighters that have to close distance, that will take a lot more damage from the burn, the percentage HP damage coming in from the glowing wand.
And it's a very well amount of damage distribution as well. You have a decent amount of magic damage, a decent amount of physical damage with Ken. So RQ has to decide how they want to build throughout this mid-phase. Vin is going to miss that wild charge. Actually, he does land on to Naomi, but Naomi able to get away. Albert holding down. ZipX goes down though. Albert finds it. Justin will fall on the backside. R7 going to keep on moving. Skylar picking up a double kill. A 3-for-0 trade and a Lord over to the side of RRQ.
With 3 members down, this is a very tough situation to be in for the side of Falcon. RRQ is very good at this. They know you have your death timers still on cooldown. They will push and try and get as much as possible. And even once Falcon members respawn, they still have to contend with the Lord coming in. And with a Beatrix on the side of RRQ, they can just very slowly but surely siege down these turrets, and they have already begun to do so.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and lose that mid inhibitor turret here. Also the top one being whittled down. They've got to deal with the Lord as well. Falcon in full defense positions here, as RRQ going to put their eyes on the bottom lane as well. Still a back and forth between both teams. Falcon looking at Naomi here. Can he find anything?
Oh, Vin will get suppressed here. Yellow Flash comes in, gets a few knockouts, but Naomi's deleted along with ZipX. Ken with the Death Sonata able to find Albert, but they locked onto the base. They need to do something quick, trying to defend with all they can. Push the minions back, get them away because RQ's trying to end this. RQ gonna readjust the situation. Skylar able to clear waves. They have another wave of minions coming from the top side. Do they want to re-engage here? Skylar still at full health. Ken, Yellow Flash, and Justin all alone. Yellow Flash gonna try to move in. RQ with the dash and the darkness. Ken will go down. Now the base is gonna get focused in. Skylar shredding through, but no minions there. Vin finds a wild charge. Naomi does get knocked up, but Yellow Flash is here as well. Skylar forced to finally retreat, but another wave. Sniper shot comes in, just misses, and Falcon lives to see another day.
RRQ, they just stayed a bit too long. They want to try and end the game right there and then, but unfortunately, the waves have been cleared by Falcon. They knew what they have to do, and soon we'll take a look at a replay. That was a very chaotic chain of events. They all began with RRQ going for a good fight. They got the pickup, they get the members low, and that was an insane snipe. And off the bat, Falcons are already on the back foot, but afterwards, right, despite how dangerous it looks, RRQ understand that the members of Falcon have a lot of burst damage, so Skylar was unable to actually move forward and end that game, and now they are back to just waiting for the next Lord, because of course for both these teams, that comeback is still a very serious possibility.
Well, I mean, even looking at the items, right, you just need a little bit more time for Falcon to at least have the full items they need, right, at least across the board here. Now still, there was a great defense coming out from Falcon in the base. I mean, even Ken able to grab a couple kills. At this point, again, like, Granger's damage is kind of, is it there? You know, unless you hit the right targets, but still, you can see this from RRQ. They're pressing every situation they can. And a lot of it is, again, Skylar and Clay able to just freely be in the backside. And even Clay making those decisive decisions to flicker in, get those Chaos Bolts off. It shows just how strong RRQ is right now. Now that this Lord is for the taking, Falcon has to contest this if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, they have no inhibitors right now, so they definitely have to contest, but R7 comes in with a big stun. Finn gonna get that wild charge off. Falcon now on the run. Zipbacks drops him on his force, but a little misplaced there. R7
man.
just being the distraction that RRQ needs. He's gonna jump on top.
Oh my goodness.
Ken, very low. Ken goes down. Finn with the immortality, but Falcon now on the ropes. All of them low health, and a Lord coming soon.
Just like the Joy, R7 does it on the glue in the same fashion, and it works so good.
RRQ, they understand that the main damage threat is going to be Ken on the Granger. They send R7 after him, and during that split when he was mounted onto Ken, he preemptively placed the Slam to ensure that he can pull Ken back, and now RRQ are going for the kill.
Yeah, the Lord's gonna come in. They're gonna try to defend Yellow Flash, getting a couple decent knockups there. Black Shoes does pop for Justin. R7 trying to defend. Lord is locked on. Base getting chunked, trying to defend, but this will be it. RQ takes game number 2.
Wow.
Match point. RRQ here. What a performance. Still a pendulum between these two teams, but this time, RRQ again just coming out stronger.
I think their composition is just so much.
Man, so there we go. RRQ goes, second game goes to the RRQ. One more win for RRQ, and this, they're gonna move to the upper stage. They're gonna have, if RRQ wins this on the next match, they're gonna face the winner of the Valley versus Onyx. On I think that's gonna be for tomorrow though. But it's still not over, man. It's still not over. Falcon can still pull this through. Can pull through this. Why are you so small? There, I made it bigger. Ooh, the Valley OP led by Rayman Singh. So there you go. Second game goes to RRQ. What side are you on, Elgin? Blacklist or Echo? It will be nice to see Echo, because Blacklist was already the champion from last time, and they're both PH anyways. Do you want to see Echo? I mean, do you want to see Yawi? Yeah, Sorrento Peraldo. See you, man. Because for some reason, the time on each fights is taking longer. Is it gonna be the same? Elgin, you are X to me. Why? Trick. Why? The Valley, dude. Ooh. So who do you think is gonna... By the way, the next match after this one is gonna be the Valley versus Onyx. After that one, it's gonna be Blacklist versus Echo. Oh, we're gonna have tons of viewers later on the Blacklist versus Echo. So for now, let's just have a chill stream. Let's relax for now, man, because it's gonna be so intense later. Even the Valley and Onyx is gonna be intense. So we have two intense matches after this one. I think this is the appetizer. Kyrie, I know, right? I would love to see Kyrie again. That insane Hayabusa play from yesterday. Even Farsa's outplay. You saw Farsa? Do you remember Farsa? What Farsa did? Do you remember what Hayabusa did? Dang. Do you agree with the odds on Valley? Like I said, man, I do love the hype on the Valley. I do love how the Valley is pulling, is surprising us each of their game, even though they were doing bad. I love how they keep on winning this time. But it's goddamn Onyx, man. It's Onyx. I don't. Well, maybe the Valley will surprise us again. Because the Valley is definitely the underdog on that match. Onyx versus the Valley is the underdog. It will be good. People will go buy Miat Tuko. Buy Miat Tuko. Blacklist is gonna be the last fight. Yeah, a lot of the people will. If the Valley wins, though, a lot of people is gonna be hyped. So that's also good because Onyx. I mean, Onyx and Echo already fought. We've already seen a lot of Onyx matches. They want to see the Valley on the late matches against the top teams, against probably Blacklist. Anyways, Onyx versus the Valley is already a good fight. The Valley actually reaching this far is, so the hype on the Valley is real, man. The hype that Munton has put on the Valley is real. I mean, they have come this far. They're gonna be going against Onyx. Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Forgotten M. Moba Zane. That Red 3 Gods. Imagine if Blacklist and the Valley fought, right? I mean, who will get the better? Who will show the? Oh, it's a strat. It's like I said, the Valley is like the MC of an anime show right now. So if the Valley really beats Onyx, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot already, man. If the Valley beats Onyx. Ooh, definitely why is Retri better? Yeah, I do think so as well. But. Come on, man. Show us the game 3. We want the Valley and Onyx, to be honest. And I think RRQ has this. Onyx is the worst possible match for the Valley. Why exactly? Can you share your insights about that? What is the Valley's usual weakness during the, ban all his heroes? Ooh, really? Virko predicted that? 9. He said no more PH team will get a slot to the grand finals. It's goddamn Echo versus Blacklist, man. Echo. Who was the MVP? I was not sure. I was not watching. Come on, man. Oh, here we go. MVP. Skylar. Skylar White. Oh, Beatrix is now 70% win rate on this M4. Yo, Matcha, what's up? Welcome back. We're just waiting for the game 3. Can Falcon answer back? It's still not done though. Falcon needs 3 wins. RRQ needs 1 win. I'm Skylar White, yo. Skylar White. Will carry. I'm not sure. In global, it's gonna be just like Estes. It's gonna be based on the champions, right? Is that the M4 skin? Skylar White, Breaking Bad. Imagine another Estes skin. That will be. Imagine Venus and Blacklist winning again and then requesting for another Estes skin. The issue before the Estes skin, the issue they had before the Estes skin actually made the skin more popular, right? So the issue about the Estes skin actually helped. It made the skin more popular. It made more people want to buy it because it had all that issue. Are you from India, Elgin? We're from PH. But some people are saying I'm from India. India pride. Elgin Singh. M5 Hanabi skin. Oh, if black won, they will probably go for Diggy this time. If Onyx wins, just in case, I would love to see a Hayabusa skin because Kyrie deserves that Hayabusa skin. Elgin Masala, Indian Throne. Good morning, Ahibit Roy. Abhijit Roy. You are Elgin Kumar, bro. Kazuma. Does Kumar mean something? Like in the name. Elgin, visit India. I would love to visit India, man. I would love to eat some Indian food. Elgin Singh. Abdul. Love you from Manipur. Kumar is a surname. Ooh. So I guess I'm Indian now. Thank you for India. Thank you for adopting me. I'm now Elgin Kumar. Oh.
Yes, the actress Celine and the singer Stefan.
Thank you. Hi.
We're so curious, which players are your favorites?
Ya.
Which player? Suka sama siapa sih playernya? Ada yang suka nggak di antara playernya?
Aku suka Albert.
Albert. Role di in-game jungler juga?
Aku jungler juga.
Oh, he's jungler, so he's
I'm a jungler.
idolized Albert. So
Albert.
you play. Okay.
I play.
What rank?
Mythical Glory.
Mythical Glory. He's pretty good. Okay, if you can compare your style to any of the player and you feel like, you know what? If I go one-on-one, we're the same. Who is that?
Absolutely Albert.
Wes, kelas Albert nih. Bukan kaleng-kaleng.
Ya semoga ya, tapi sepertinya teman-teman bilang seperti itu.
Kata temannya.
Kata teman.
His friends say that he's just like Albert.
Albert. My
Okay,
friends.
we gotta check that out. But how has this experience so far for you? It's been a few days, and now they're battling to make it to the finals. What do you guys think about their performance so far? Gimana ngelihat dari pertandingannya, datang ke sini juga, Kak Selin?
Actually, ini benar-benar tempat yang sangat seru ya, apalagi untuk kita kayak pecinta games dan mengadakan acara-acara yang seperti ini tuh cukup membuat kebersamaan bareng gitu. Akhirnya bisa saling bertemu. Apalagi dengan kamu, aku juga sering lihat YouTube kamu main game.
Terima kasih Kak Selin. Jadi malu
Saya
ya.
pro player.
Yeah.
I know. Troller ya. Oke. Tapi how about you?
Wah.
Gimana kamu ngelihat pertandingan dari RRQ, perjalanannya, the journey of RRQ?
Wah, seru banget ya. Sempat di lower bracket ya. Tapi aku yakin sih kekalahan itu salah satu hal untuk membuat kita lebih maju lagi.
Wih.
Jadi aku percaya RRQ akan menang.
We believe that
Wow, we
RRQ
believe
will
RRQ
win.
will win.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you know what they need some pumping up to do. So what's
Okay.
our message for them to get them pumped up so they can perform better for the next game?
Maybe you want to sing some song? Maybe
Yes,
for
let's do it.
nyanyi buat
Let's do
Kak
it.
Selin nih.
Alright,
Sekarang
we've got a
nyanyi buat
concert in
RRQ
here.
dong.
Alright, let's go.
Boleh. Di sini ya. Ya udah, aku ini lagu aku spesial, liriknya aku ganti buat RRQ.
Special lyrics.
Special lyric
that.
for RRQ.
Special lyrics.
Yes.
Ternyata belum siap aku kalau RRQ kalah, karena aku yakin RRQ kan menang. Kita dukung Indonesia akan menang. I love you.
I love you too, Kak Selin. Wow. For sure, that's going to motivate them. So let's get this game 3 started. Casters, please.
What a great voice right there. And again, we're excited for this. It is.
And there we go. 3 minutes before the next match. We're gonna dial down our sim for today because there's so many intense match. We're gonna dial down our simping powers for today. Nah, this is actually, we're waiting for the third match. It's 2-0 on RRQ's favor. Shout out Sabham Mahat, what's up? Elgin, you sing now. I can't sing. It's not one of the things we've learned. It's not it's not. I don't know, man. I've never sang. Even when I'm drunk, even when I'm extremely drunk, I don't sing. Alice Crashon, what's up? Shout out to Mogus. Bruno Mars, was that Bruno Mars? Kobe Brian Aguirre, what's up? I will feed you sweets for free, Elgin. Treat for me. Satavic Cool. What's a good thing to do when you're in India though? Shout out Patrick Tejada, what's up? Patrick Tejada, what's up? I hate rainbow. Avocado, where's Pikachu? I'm gonna stop reading that avocado and I'm gonna say Pikachu instead. That's Legson Plays Vlog. Shout out Legson Plays. Elgin's fanboying went down because Falcon twice in a row. Nah, not really, man. Visit Taj Mahal. I mean, I don't know if the simping part is good for fun, right? It's funny. It's fun and funny, but I don't know, man. I might be offending some of the females out there. That's why we're kind of dialing it down. That's why. Can't wait for NA. Shout out Mr. Bernardo. Again, guys, once the draft pick starts, we're gonna shut up so that we can listen to the draft pick and casters. Lasing ba ulit si Clara? Female detected opinion. Nah, that's why we're dialing it down, because we might be offending some people for our over simping. It was fun though, right? It was funny. Besides, I had she's beautiful though, yeah. Shout out Gerald Cartagena, what's up? It was fun while it lasted. Say Sharmuta, what's up? John Cena, I can see Falcon coming back from this. Yeah, 2-1. Falcon needs three wins. I mean, Falcon just has to make a major mistake once, and that's it for RRQ. They're gonna win. RRQ only needs one more win, and that's it. Getting 3 wins straight in a row is gonna be tough for Falcon. Again, Falcon needs 3 wins straight to win this. How can you see John Cena? Mara Sims for win. Shout out Yuichiro Hayakuya. Here we go. Draft pick. I'm gonna shut up. Let's watch the match.
but this time I think get back to the basics, keep it simple, and do what works.
We're going to find out, see what works for Falcon here as we load up into the draft for game number 3. RRQ going to be on the blue side, Falcon on the red, looking for 2 priority picks that they can take after trading. We're almost through the first phase of these bans as well. Faramis, Kadita, Kaja taken out by RRQ. Falcon taking out the marksman, still focusing there, trying to limit the options here for Skylar.
But I mean, it feels like Skylar's already shown that whatever he gets, yes, of course, you don't want to let the 1-1 or the carry out, but at the same time, RQ is used to them banning that, and Skylar has shown that he can play the Beatrix, he can even play the Melissa well. Right now, it's Zipex who's having trouble in the gold lane, and on match point, was this the right choice, Arashi?
Well, I think only time will tell, but for RRQ, they understand the requirement to have a secondary DPS just in case Falcon goes for those beefier frontline composition, because you see that they banned out 2 very strong marksmen, and of course this Grok ban though seems to be quite interesting. Has Vin just been so annoying with the counter engage, so tanky on that Grok with the crowd control immunity, that Falcons finally said that is the main problem, enough is enough.
Well, I think so, right? You take out the Grok, targeting Vin here. They might lock in. Maybe they decide to take the Joy for Falcon. You know, if they really want to park that in the XP lane, there's still glue available too, which we saw here on screen. And it looks like, yeah, it's going to be glue locked in plus the Valentina.
I like it. I mean, I do like it, and I think, yes, Vin was a major problem on that Grok, and as we creep into Game 3, you have to get a bit more open in these bans, in these drafts. You need to maybe start targeting a bit more. Make Vin come at a different angle with a different hero, and maybe that'll be the kink in the armor. Now, Justin, once again, on this Valentina, he only lost his first game on that in Game 1. We still know he can be very good for it, but hold on, because with that Grok being banned, you let the Joy through.
That is a, I don't know if I can say unfortunate situation for Falcon.
They planned it, but
yeah, I guess they have calculated the risk. We'll have to see if the math checks out. But with the Joy, with the Fredrin, again, so flexible coming in from RRQ, and yet so strong. These heroes they have picked up, they can be considered trio picks as well as flags picks. So definitely not something Falcon want to go up against without preparation. But Naomi decides, okay, let's go with the Franco yet again. Given the right situations, it can still work out. They just have to, again, make sure that they understand there's a lot of DPS. There's going to be a very mobile hero in that Joy in the back line. What is the solution? Can they get enough stuns, enough burst damage, something to deter R7 just walking all over the back line?
I'm wondering if this is almost too risky of a game to see Ken on the Fanny, right? Because I feel like, again, you have a Franco picked up, you've got Glue and Valentina. Valentina's going to be looking for the ultimates to take here and utilize well, but still, even if you land those hooks from Naomi, you need that follow-up damage, because that's what they lacked previously, right? You need to be able to get that kill and finish someone off, because they've, up to this point, the past 2 games, they've really struggled with that. And so this also is going to be a big portion for Zipex specifically. The portion of the game where he needs to get the advantage in lane, transition to mid to late game, and really just kind of pop off here. So you can already see too, right? They do take out the Harith from RRQ, decides to take out the Harith. They don't want to allow that to happen because, I mean, in most cases, if Harith can get early advantage, get those kills needed on the mystery shop, she's usually the one to just kind of, or he's usually the one to just pop off. But Melissa even banning out. So I'm wondering, with all these marksman bans coming out, what is Zipex going to play here?
He's gonna pick up the Beatrix here, I think, unless the side of RQ decides to ban it. I feel like there's the plan, right? We ban out all these marksmen, we pick up the Beatrix first here, possibly, that's my guess, and then what do you leave with Skylar? Yes, there is the Beatrix, and it's honestly a very clean draft because RQ almost worked against themselves, banning out that Harith, and Falcon called their bluff.
I wonder if Falcon's plan is to use the Wesker as a deterrent for all this dive coming in from RRQ. But RRQ also saw that with the Hilda being banned out, with the Melissa being banned out, that usually means that they want to go for maybe an assassin, right? Someone that can get pushed away by the go-away and get really destroyed in the early game by a Hilda. But for RRQ, it's going to be a Kufra as well as a Claude. Skylar does play a very mean Claude, but we haven't seen Vin on the Kufra that often. The final pick for the side of Falcon will be that Martis though, and I think according to Trex's will, it might just be going into the jungle.
Good. I like it. I like it. I'm happy. Good job, Falcon. I definitely like it. I think the thing they're going to need to be careful, though, is that Joy, right? R7. He's a monster, and maybe they need to use Naomi as more of a peel for him instead of an engage, and they need to keep it tight. Once again, in the last game, Zipex would go in alone. The rest of the team isn't even at the Lord Pit yet. They get a little too split up, but if they can stay together, then it doesn't matter if Joy comes in.
I mean, not only that, but we saw this previously, right? Same pickups. The Joy and the Lunox complement, how they complement each other, especially when that Genius Wand is locked in here. The burst is almost too much to handle, so you've got to work around that. Falcon, they're going to be looking to get those hooks, get the numbers advantage into the fights, and really just allow this time, hopefully, for Zipex to shine on this Beatrix. But again, it's match point here for RRQ. Can Falcon Esports extend the series as we load into the Land of Dawn?
Oof. Early on, let's take a look at a bit of the matchups here, as well as the emblems. Of course, R7 with the Mystery Shop and the Vengeance, already going to be such a nuisance. But you can see that in the early game, of course, it's going to be jungling as usual for Albert and Ken. But now on this signature Martis, we'll see if Ken can demolish or decimate, rather, the members of RRQ. Naomi has that extra bit of cooldown, and Yellow Flash is copying, going with that Avarice emblem as well, trying to get a bit more of an early lead.
I do like the way Naomi's playing here as well. He's being a little bit more aggressive. He's not just following Justin around, he's getting vision for his team, and that's what they need to do.
Well, they already get the flicker.
Oh, R7 taking a bit of damage there, forced to back off. Cade play down half health as well. Naomi picks up the first blood. Falcon keeping to their percentage rate, but will it win the game?
Well, that's a big play, right? I mean, already starting the tempo here. Falcon going to be able to play around that still, even Yellow Flash bullying R7. This is kind of typical for early game.
Ooh, that is good. But R7, I mean, that's all shield. That's not even a health bar.
Yeah, he has like literally an invisible amount of HP. Only one. That's crazy. He has the Vengeance though, that saved his life, but he needs to be a bit more careful. Glue is a very strong laner, so he needs to keep that in mind when he's contesting. But I think right now, Falcon is having a better time contesting the mid area until Albert makes a play.
Oh, Justin, Appraiser's Wrath comes in. Justin gets away, and these are the clutch moments that may pull Falcon through this early phase.
So they hold on to the lead here. I mean, that's twice now. Once for each team where someone got away with a sliver of health. So still, you can feel the tension here. Now also, as we're taking a look at Vin, you know, this Kufra pick, man, from time after time on multiple teams has worked wonders. And so Falcon Esports definitely going to keep an eye on that, but the fight for the turtle breaks out.
Yes, Albert getting a nice position over it. Yellow Flash tries to get in the backside. Vin will get the Tyrant's Revenge onto him, but Vin then comes on top. I mean, Yellow Flash comes on top of Vin. Ken gonna try to push Albert away from this turtle, wants to regain position. Albert goes down, and Naomi goes down. Ken as well, and Albert takes the turtle. I had a mislook at those health bars. It was Falcon that was getting melted. A double kill for R7. RRQ reclaiming the map.
It's like a 3-4-0 for RRQ plus the turtle. That is not how you want to have an early game when you have that Franco and that Valentina. Somehow, some way, they just overestimate their capabilities, and RRQ, once again, with some very, I don't know, risky plays, coming out on top yet again. This is insane, and they're already having a bit of an item lead, and they continue to pressure Falcon yet again.
That is not good, my dude, right? I mean, R7 getting that lead here, especially, they're still going.
Yeah, Ken very low. Albert finds him once again. That's 4-1, a 1,000 gold lead at only 3 minutes.
So remember, right? Okay, still going.
They're still going. Vin gonna get locked down. Zipex trying to find Skylar. But Skylar hits that blazing duet and melts him down.
It's you know, it's crazy. They don't stop at all. And again, initially it looked like they were gonna lose, right? They lost the first blood, but it doesn't even matter. They just keep going at you. You just need to expect it. You cannot keep, I don't know, expecting something different. They just keep doing this. Nothing has changed in all 3 games they've been playing. And Albert right here on that Fredrin is just being more oppressive than ever onto Ken's jungle.
I mean, man, I feel like Albert's learned maybe something in that matchup against Blacklist International here. He's playing phenomenally so far on this Fredrin, and I mean throughout the series as a whole. And that's the thing, right? You have Fredrin available to you, plus Vin on the Kufra. That front line and the pick-off potential, or the setup potential rather, is really good here. R7 too, you know, the fact that he was able to get 2 early kills, even though he struggled in that first pretty much push in the bottom side, able to survive transition very well. And he's back to his comfort, right? This is what we saw from game 1.
Yeah, and R7 just going to continue to harass this back line, but a nice suppression does come down. Clay will be the first of all, but a big Tyrant's Rage. Yellow Flash and Ken now running for the hills as R7 locks on. The taunt comes on to Yellow Flash. He's going to land on top of In. Misses the dash. Going to have to jump off and get back to safety, but R7 and Albert do not want to let that happen. Now with a nice flicker hook, brings Vin under and collects the kill, puts it in his pocket, and now Falcon going to try to make a move on to this turtle.
Amidst all that chaos, Naomi finds a chance to go for the flicker iron hook combo, and now R7 alone against 4 people, getting taken out, and RRQ are still going for the turtle though.
Yeah, now Yellow Flash, Naomi, and Justin are going to try to make their move. Ken
battle.
is at half health, but Albert takes the turtle once again. Falcon having a lot of trouble claiming these neutral objectives.
Albert with the no there. You know, he's not going to lose that retribution battle here. But still, I mean, Falcon able to find a couple picks. That's crucial for them. They can still use that to their advantage, trying to get the pendulum swinging in their favor. Check out the M4 stats here. Falcon first blood rate, still, it's even higher now, right? It went up, 94.44%. But is it enough? I mean, again, when we looked at the team head-to-head, the fact that they had that statistic, does it transition into winning games? That's the big question.
Yeah, Zipek's going to bring out the Navir's Passion. Vin taking a lot of damage. Ken will find him. Falcon not going to press their luck too much. Go back to the jungle, recalibrate, rethink out your situations.
For RRQ, man, they have to slow down quite a bit. This time, if they just go in all the way, there's just a lot of punishing moments here coming in from Yellow Flash with the slam pass combo, Justin with the Terrify, as well as the Nibiru's Passion that we saw earlier, just decimating them, especially because ZipX has the first item power spike, and for Skylar on the Claude, he needs one more item to just reach that optimum Claude initial power spike, and that is usually at 7 to 8 minutes. So for now, Falcon still has a chance to try and push the tempo.
Well, he's pushing the tempo there. R7 in the nest here, right? He go ahead, pretty much just leash that purple buff for Ken here. But now, I guess the big question is, where do they find their moments? If you're RRQ or even Falcon, it looks like it's going to be reliant on Vin again.
Yeah, big stun onto the wall. Yellow Flash will get melted down. Skylar picking up his first kill in this game, putting him a little bit ahead of Zipex here.
You can see the difference in, I don't know, the solutions, because with the,
Wow.
oh, wait, never mind.
R7 getting deleted. Naomi misses the hook. I got a feeling it's going to be a disengage here. Back to you, Arashi.
Well, once it's back to me, the fight breaks open yet again. Justin will be able to escape, fortunately. And RRQ goes for the turtle because, as I was mentioning, Clay on that Lunox can deal so much damage to the glue that Yellow Flash cannot be as oppressive as R7, but now the engage opens up again.
Comes in, a lot of damage coming in. Vin getting melted low, but Naomi will be the first to fall. It's Yellow Flash on top of him, but they want to lock on to Justin. Justin using the Brilliant Assist to try to get away. Ken looking for something, trying to just escape, but Justin will fall. Skylar picks it up. That's a 2-for-1 trade. Wait a second, Zipex. Skylar doesn't use the dash. Yellow Flash does get the stun though. Vin with Tyrant's Rage knocks Yellow Flash up against the wall. Yellow Flash is a bulky boy. He should be able to walk away from this safely. Overall, the turtle does go to the side of RRQ once again, but it's still a 2-for-2 trade.
It's a small victory, but again, you have to wonder who does it benefit? Who has a stronger late game when they keep trading kills like this, especially because R7, look at him. It's the same story from game number 1. He just keeps going in and out, and there's no real apparent solution coming in from Falcon. Take a look at the items right here. Ken, on his signature Martis, only has a Hunter Strike. That is not nearly enough to deal with all the potential damage coming in from the side of RRQ. As we were talking about earlier, the Golden Staff is competed for Skylar as well. So in those big team fights, they have to worry about Clay just nuking the tanks, or they can worry about Skylar just shredding everyone at the same time. So many problems for Falcon to deal with.
A lot of problems here for them to deal with, but they are in a position, they have the tools they need to turn this back in their favor here. And it really just starts, again, allowing, you have ZipX picking up Malefic Roar. The damage is going to be there, so that follow-up from the Iron Hook, when it lands from Naomi, ZipX has to make sure he's there, meanwhile avoiding, especially Vin. You see him jumping around all over the map here. So at this point, 9 minutes in, Lord's going to be up here shortly. Falcon has to hold on the best they can, and it's going to come down to either that hook or Justin, but here comes Vin.
Oh, Vin wastes a lot, getting shredded down. ZipX unable to find the kill though. Snipe shot doesn't come out, does not land, but a hook does. Vin will go down finally. ZipX finds it, the teal play comes out. Clay forced to use a brilliance just to get away here. Keep an eye on Albert coming to the backside. Suppression does land down, but Clay goes down as well. Albert now up against Yellow Flash. Justin holding the back. ZipX keeping his distance, trying to lock on R7. Dashing around like a maniac. Hits the ultimate. ZipX goes down with the 1-for-1. A beautiful trade. 3-for-1 currently on the map. Falcon finally winning out in a team fight, but Albert doesn't want to let it go down stale. Skylar also here. Albert will take the Lord pit, but he's going to back off. A nice win for Falcon.
Everyone's so low from Falcon, but the only casualty is ZipX, and that is taken at the cost of R7's life. So for now, Falcon is still getting a bit of an advantage. If RRQ cannot deal with ZipX on that Beatrix, this can be quite a problem for them.
Oh, Naomi does get Tyrant's Rage. A lot of damage onto Naomi. Doesn't land the hook, will be the first to fall. Now Yellow Flash and Justin and Ken need to think. Vin brought down to about 20%. Albert now on the front side. Yellow Flash on the run. ZipX with a snipe shot lands on a Skylar, but he's still not down. Vin very low. The rest of them come in. Ken takes the first objective of the past 2 games. Able to take a big win there, but at what cost? 2 members down. RQ not letting up.
Now with 2 members down, what can RRQ find in exchange for that? Because otherwise, that is still a very good situation for Falcon. They've equalized on the gold difference, and as we mentioned, ZipX is scaling further and further into the late game. And of course, RRQ can very easily dive towards him, using the Joy, using the Claude as well. But there's a lot more problems right now with the crowd control being used more efficiently. Falcon has adjusted, and they're going for Albert.
Ooh, nice suppression. Albert will get deleted there. R7 and Clay forced to back off. Falcon gonna move down onto this mid-tier 3 tower. Will they keep going? On the boss side, Lord has connected to tier 2, but Skylar makes quick work of that. Falcon now gonna move, take another tower away from RQ, and now the map is red, boys.
They made a huge shift here in momentum just from that Lord take again. The work, and you saw earlier, I mean, even when they grabbed and secured that Lord, the celebration from Naomi, they knew that this would give them the lead they were looking for throughout the game. And again, you're seeing it, right? Naomi landing the hooks here, and the follow-up from ZipX is the damage is there, right? He's got, what, 3, almost 4 items on this Beatrix. So as they continue to siege down the base of RRQ, they're just waiting on those inhibitor turrets. It's going to come down to that next Lord. So RRQ's got to be very cautious on how they approach it. Vin does not want to overextend, especially if he puts him in a bad position, because that's something we see a lot of the times when Kufra is picked. Yes, the playmake potential is there, but you also are at risk of putting yourself in a bad position. Then you just get focused down, or you get bloodied hunted by Naomi. So they can't lose Vin here, and R7, as much as he's been trying.
Vin does get the Tyrant's Rage. McKenna's there to help out. Yellow Flash will be able to back off. Skylar down very, very low. ZipX has great positioning on this team fight. Albert forced to try to walk away, able to hit the dash, but gets pulled back to the team. A lot of damage. R7 not able to invade the back line as usual. Albert falls. Ken picks up the kill. Naomi wants more. He's keeping his distance, misses the hook, but Falcon is not letting up. This could be the tilt.
There's Albert is still not back on the Land of Dawn, so Falcon goes for the siege right here. Conceal is being used, so it does seem like RRQ want to try and do something, but they gotta stop doing this, man. The whole shift in momentum happened because RRQ took a essentially free 3 versus 5 earlier before taking the Lord. So RRQ need to understand that at this point, if you are down 1 member, or if one of your members get picked off, cannot just go with your initial instinct of just going back in against the full roster of Falcon, because right now, as you mentioned, Naisu, ZipX is just doing so much damage, and he has a lot more range compared to Skylar. So he's having a lot more success in this front-to-back team fights, because Skylar is not allowed to dive towards the back line.
Falcon's doing an amazing job at just protecting ZipX specifically here, and Justin having a phenomenal game on this Valentina pick. So really it comes down again to how does this play down to the micro decisions for this Lord dance. You're going to see Yellow Flash do his best to zone out.
Oh, but it does get that wild charge on the Yellow Flash. Finn gets hooked in though. ZipX going to shred through. Lord down to about 50%. All members still on the field. Now Ken's going to try to make a move onto Albert here, push him away, try to get some position. And Ken will go down. That's retribution off the field for Falcon. RRQ now going to try to make their advance. Chip down this Lord. Conceal play does come in. ZipX has the snipe out. It's a Lord fight and Albert wins. ZipX goes down. Skylar with the blazing duet. Naomi, Yellow Flash very low. Naomi forced to flicker away. Yellow Flash in a bad position, goes down as well. It's a 4-man wipeout for RRQ and the Lord as well.
How do they keep doing this, man? These fights are all so chaotic, but somehow, some way, RRQ find a way to just turn it around. It's a 4-for-2 plus the Lord, and all was done due to the different maneuvers back and forth by RRQ. And now, with the Lord, with the waves in their favor, they're gonna make a decisive game-ending play.
Another thing to keep in mind there in that fight was Skylar, right? He has that, he just picked up the Malefic Roar, but he had the Corrosion Scythe already. So when he found the right moment to go in and slow everybody down, it was really hard for Falcon to even disengage, even though they wanted to. By that time, it was too late. They got whittled down, they got picked off, and now they've got to defend against this Lord pushing on the top side.
Luckily, they do still have their base turrets, and ZipX is still farmed up, so they make quick work of that Lord. Another thing to point out in that team fight, Ken once again kind of tries to push Albert away, but that puts him in a bad position. And ZipX already has the Renner out, so there's no defense against Skylar unless you just hit this amazing skill shot, which, I mean, at that point, he just has the wrong matchup. And like you said, Skylar just finds the perfect timing.
You know what's crazy though? The whole time, RRQ has one single method of approach. Jump on Yellow Flash, use Clay to burst him down, and then we'll go from there. It's the same thing again and again. It's insanity. And somehow, some way, they get a different result. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, but this is RRQ and Falcon, and this is M4. It's not supposed to make sense.
Well, again, it's two teams with tempo, and throughout the series, honestly, it's been back and forth, right? At one point, RRQ has the lead, Falcon will have the lead, and really, it's just coming down to these amazing team fights, and really who can get the resources, or even, as Gideon likes to call it, the battle spell economy, right? It comes down to those decisions, the flicker plays, even from Vin, when he pairs it up with the conceal, it's really tough for Falcon to respond here. And they're gonna lose the purple buff as it's invaded, and right now, again, backs against the wall for Falcon.
Falcon is going to complete the majority of their items though here. The tanky members are going to get tankier. And honestly, I do think that in a straight front-to-back fight, Falcon has found so much more success compared to RRQ. It's only when RRQ were able to approach from multiple angles and split apart the front line of Falcon, where they're able to just confuse them and just make them think twice about using their ultimates, their battle spells, because the threats are coming from so many different directions. So for now, if RRQ can maintain this aggression, can continue to just confuse Falcon, they can just keep doing the same thing, and it might just pay off. But of course, this next Lord will be pivotal in deciding who comes out on top.
This could be a game-winning Lord here. Vin gonna check the bush. Falcon trying to get in position. Justin and ZipX being on the backside know that they've got to stay alive here. Justin holding on to the Lunox ultimate as now Lord half health.
Yeah, look at that Rainer shot. Checks the bush with it, so that is one utility down already. Should still have the Nibiru's passion ready to go. Uses it. Nice suppression. Vin does have the immortality though. Tries to pop it off. Justin able to take him out. This looks bad for Yellow Flash though, brought very low. ZipX does find Clay. It's a battle for the Lord, and the heat is on. Albert very low. Lord very low. And Yellow Flash finds it. A game-winning moment at that. Can they take it here? A full team wipe. And at this, Falcon may be able to win the game. They're going to push down the mid, send someone back to defend the base, and the death counters are clocking down.
And just like that, a turn the tide fight. Falcon marching into the base.
GG's, we're going to a game 4, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready.
And And there we go, guys. Man, Falcon refusing to refusing to lose without a fight, man. Falcon is answering back, giving us a... That was... Even the game itself was a comeback, man. The game itself was a comeback. So it looks like we're gonna have to go to the game 4, right? Game 4. Falcon needs 2 more wins. RRQ needs 1 more win. Oh, snap. Disappointed face. Yeah, man. Falcon is refusing to... That game itself was a comeback, though. So, anyways, good job by Falcon, man, showing us a good time, showing us a good match. Lennox's ultimate. I know, man. They just... I actually thought that that Clash was gonna go to RRQ because of Skylar was... Anyways, what's up, guys? Hi, Kelvin. How are you doing? We're gonna go for game 4. 10 minutes before the game 4 starts. LT Lick Me. Why is Balmond never picked? I guess Balmond is just not in the meta right now. Why is the graphics bad? Maybe you're on auto. You can turn it on 1080. The video is on 1080 actually. Tiyasha Dar, what's up? GG is the Falcon. Yep. Sacred Shinobi, what's up? What happened to the third game? It was a very close match though. Can Falcon do it again? Just delaying the inevitable. Ooh. Just delaying the inevitable. It's definitely gonna be 3-1 said by Rafid Ryan. What do you guys think? Well, Falcon really had to work very hard on that win though. While the other games, RRQ just dominated. Falcon usually puts up a fight at the... Right? Even on the first and second game, Falcon was able to put up a fight on the early game, a bit on the mid game, but then RRQ Hoshi will just slowly gain it back, will slowly dominate. Yo, Rahul Nat, thank you for being a subscriber during way back from 2019. That was a close match by Falcon. So, what will happen in the next fight? Ooh, read believe in who? Which one? On Falcon? So Blacklist going to lower. Yeah, the Alvi Daniel Rosales. I think the coach of the Blacklist actually said that. We're not sure if it's true though that the Blacklist intentionally lost to Falcon so that they would move to the lower brackets. That we are not sure. Elgin, do you think TV has a chance against Onyx? Like I said, Onyx, based on stats, is the better team compared to Valley. But the Valley, man, is just... The Valley has is full of surprises. It's like an MC anime, man. MC in the anime. I think Echo is gonna beat Black though from Reed. Intro Boys Falcon said by Paul Carl Cardinal. Yeah, actually, yeah, right. Falcon, even on game 1 and 2, Falcon was able to actually do good at the beginning, but slowly, like I said, for some reason, RRQ will start winning clashes. And most of the reason why Falcon would usually do good in the beginning was because of Franco. The pick-offs of Franco. TV trained in the Philippines. Oh. All the way from Ohio. It's the Valley dudes from Mara Aquino. Where's Lemon? Lemon, there's no Lemon today. even in the last match. If Kyrie gets as the assassin, it's a win. Oh, that's 90%. That 90% first blood makes sense. Definitely. Echo and Blacklist will be an epic match. That's gonna be the last match. So we're saving the best for last. The Valley and Onyx though is also one exciting match. Hopefully the Valley shows us a good game. Who do I want to win later? Echo or Blacklist? Well, Blacklist has already been the champion. So I guess it will be nice for Echo to Justin MVP with his Valentina. Do you have an astigmatism? Not sure. 07, what's up? Long time no see, Elgin. Modi Zane. What mage would you want to revamp and why? I would want to revamp Kagura. Just to make her more stronger. Because we're biased on when it comes to Kagura. What's up, Elgin Khan? What's up, Modi Zane or 007? Falyansa, new subscriber from Indonesia. What's up, Falyansa? What do you think about the match? I bet you're rooting for. Are you rooting for RRQ? Definitely. But who knows? Some other Indonesians also is not rooting for RRQ. Mario Ant, I love your videos. I'm from Argentina. Thank you for that, Mario Ant from Argentina. Do you think Kago was better before the revamp? Yeah, I think so. At first, I was kind of excited when the revamp on Kagura came in, but then I slowly realized old school Kagura was better. Oh, you used to read for them, not anymore. Oh, Falyansa choosing RRQ. Yosef, sorry for the third time. What's the highest view in your channel and when? What? The live viewers or the overall view? Because live viewers, I think that happened during the Echo versus Blacklist. It was 10K plus. 10K, I mean Echo, when Blacklist was playing against RRQ. That was the highest live views on our channel, which was 10K plus. The highest view we have is on the Layla abuse video. That's the, what's that, 12 million views? I forgot. I will have to check again. So apparently people like to see Layla being abused. I'm gonna start an animation soon, man. Layla abuse video animated, right? After the M4. Layla abuse video animation. Basically, an animation wherein Layla gets killed again and again and again and again and again. I mean, people love the Layla abuse video from the practice thingy. Now it's gonna be animated. And it's gonna be animated with our naughty hands. It's gonna be animated by my by me personally. How about Elgin telling to his wife about me? So shout out to my wife. What's up, babe? Layla is the worst hero now. Old Kagura had them burst, if you know what I mean. I would love Kagura to be thicker. Thicker Kagura, I think, is the best decision Moonton would ever have. Right? Make it sick. Elgin, cosplay glue in next game. How do you cosplay glue? I think the easiest cosplay we can do is Franco, man. I miss Kagura's Shogyo Mugyo. Yeah, me too. I'm mythic now because I keep using the... Does your wife play MLBB? Yes, she does play MLBB. She likes to play Eudora. Burst them down. Bzz. Can you do Aldous cosplay? If you want to see a Fat Aldous, sure, we can do a Aldous cosplay. If Fat Aldous works, you can do Aldous cosplay. I thought you're single. I have 4 kids. Lakad matatag. Misyo ka, Ken. Meron kang asawa. Yeah, we have a wife. Shout out to my wife and my 4 kids. What's up? What's for dinner, guys? Eudora has actually been picked here in M4. What, twice? 3 times? I think Eudora had been used here 2 or 3 times in the M4. They were trying to burst. Sometimes Eudora is a simple answer. Is a simple answer to some of the complicated heroes. Right? Eudora can sometimes be the answer to counter some of the complicated heroes. I mean, your kids play ML na. They don't touch ML. Elgin, what do you do for fun? What do I do for fun? I read manga, I watch anime, I read books, I listen to audiobooks. I love books, actually. I love reading books. John Grisham, Neil Gaiman, David Patterson. Favorite authors. And definitely Tolkien. OG Tolkien. How old are you? We're 36 years old. What's your favorite anime? Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop. Elgin, how long have you been married? We have not yet been married though. I'm gonna get married soon. Sipag sa kids, boss. Yeah, Jeto. We've been a dad when I was a dad in 19 years old. I was 19 years old when I became a dad. Yeah, it's taking so long. Come on. If you're gonna wait Moonton, you might as well show us some hot babes. Spike cosplay. Ooh, Spike cosplay. Again, if you want to, if you want a fat Spike, sure. Probably Jet is more. We can probably pull off Jet more than Spike, because Spike is goddamn skinny, man. You're 36. Yeah, we're 36. Yo, boy, drop the marriage video once you're newlywed. Man. Newlywed. Hopefully soon. Probably in the beach. With lots of beaches. Nah, I mean, just in the beach. You look 21, Elgin. Nah, man, we're super old. I got white hair, man. I got white hair from playing rank. Your role model. Who's your role model for a Kagura main? I haven't been watching. I rarely see Kagura mains. Is there a famous YouTuber with a Kagura main? Let's be the Kagura main. Let's be the famous YouTuber with a Kagura main. But first, we have to animate Abuse Layla video. Elgin can cause. Like I said, guys, if you want a fat Hayabusa, a fat Ling, fat Aldous. Oh, here we go. Draft pick. We're gonna shut up. Can Falcon pull through? Here we go.
Something a bit more consistent. RRQ is gonna go and just bank it all in the early game because RRQ has shown that they can do both. And right now, the drafts for RRQ isn't drastically different, but for Falcon, as we mentioned, that Grok ban has been such a valuable tool that they've been able to use in game number 3.
Well, draft already upon us here. A couple bans already out. We said the Fairmist, Kadita taken out here. We'll see if they stick with similar ban patterns for RRQ, but they are going to have that first priority pick. And really, I mean, if this is going to be a carry ban from Falcon, this is kind of what we've seen, right? There's the Kaja. Could this be the carry? If not, it might get taken away in priority for RRQ.
I think Falcon wants to ban the carry here, right? I think overall, these drafts may come out very similar to last game.
Eve.
Maybe a different pick. Eve is open this time. So definitely a possible pick. And it has been something that is very contested for by everyone, but they go for that Lunox still. I mean, Clay's he's done great with it. So it hasn't failed him, but this is going to give possibly the glue and the Eve over over to the side of Falcon here.
Because for RRQ, they want that magic burst damage to deal with these tanks, man. Lunok is one of the only mages that can do so, and we saw them try that strategy again and again, almost desperately in game number 3. So it's definitely a core part of their pickoff gameplay, having enough burst damage to ensure whoever gets stunned or knocked up or caught by them can get bursted down. Unfortunately, then for Falcon, they can go for that Beatrix that can essentially, especially in that late game, do the exact same thing. We saw it happen, and that's why the Franco Beatrix combo is just so dangerous.
Yeah, there's a lot all open here. I mean, even the glue, right? There's the Valentina gonna be locked. There's the glue. So something similar, right? And again, a massive game previously from Justin here on that Valentina. So they lock it in. If it's not broke, you know, don't fix it. They can work around with it.
What's so clean about the Valentina too is, all right, yeah, you can pick the Eve, right? Because we also get the real manipulation. So I'm thinking the Eve, but really this just works so much better in a sense because you still have some great mobility. Justin does so well with this hero, even without the ult stealing, but hold on a second, a little quote from Oh My Venus.
Yeah, pretty much. RRQ didn't ban the Estes, right? At all. Maybe that is one of the reasons they lose. That's some heated.
As Dave would say,
yeah, she would say, right? But going back to these picks, there it is. You know, not too much is changing here. Even for RRQ, they're going to lock in the Fredrin. They're going to put that most likely in the hands of Albert once again. Focus on those objectives, looking for that clean sweep of Turtles early game. And hopefully this time, R7 has an easier time on this Joy like he did, what, game 1?
Depends on the draft coming in from Falcon here. If they have enough damage to just threaten him in their early game, we saw that even all the way to the late game, R7 on this Joy wasn't able to just stand in the front, and with Naomi on the Franco again, that is a very threatening bloody hunt that can be used to shut down R7's movement.
I mean, I think this is literally the same exact
Same
draft
so far,
of
yeah.
last game. It's coming down to who's going to call the bluff, right? Are we going to just do both teams believe that it was just a skill diff, that it was just RQ feels like they could have just played better? We don't think we need to switch out the composition, and right now things still looking exactly the same.
Right, a Hilda ban to just hint at the fact that there's a possibility that Falcon can go for an assassin, but of course now there's a bit more knowledge in the hands of RRQ. They ban away the Harith, so denying that potential late game coming in from ZipX. But honestly, we saw that the Harith really wasn't as dangerous, and for Falcon, it's going to be that Melissa yet again.
We'll see, right, if RRQ decides to go with a similar ban they did previous game, because still what's left open is that Beatrix, and that was an amazing game for ZipX previously. They could just be going for a pretty much the same draft at this point unless there is a curveball here. But Falcon, I mean, if they go in with the same game plan, it's going to be a good game for them. There it is. There's the Hayabusa, right? So do they just go ahead and lock in that Beatrix?
Of course, of course. I mean, like I said, it's exactly what they wanted. They're going to lock in the Beatrix. Now, does RQ now have an answer up their sleeve for that? We already know most likely they're going to pick up that Claude again, but it's all going to come down to what they put in as their roam, really.
Right, I mean, if the roamer has more presence, right, in the hands of Vin, that can work as well.
They're just going the same.
Wow, it's the exact same thing, you're right. I mean, honestly, I always said that Vin was good at picking off people. Kufro is more of a huge team fight kind of hero. So we'll see, again, can he get more success here? RRQ, man, doing the same exact thing, hoping for a different result. This is crazy.
I mean, you know,
wow.
Well, since we've already talked about this draft last time, I guess we don't really have to talk anymore.
Skip.
Yeah, we'll just fast forward to the Landodon. But no, jokes aside, why not, right? I mean, we actually saw this in their previous series, even I think it was with the Blacklist International, where it was pretty much the same draft that they went with from game to game. But that just pretty much says that RRQ was confident in what they had the previous game. It's just unfortunate for them they lost those last couple of team fights because they did have the lead. They had quite a bit of a lead here, but Falcon happy with what they had against it to counter this draft, and it's going to come down once again to those minute decisions if they can get the snowball. And I think still even in the jungle, right, really, where does that fall in place? Who grabs this first blood?
It's a confusing situation, and I think there's going to be a lot of deja vu here
there's gonna be so many moments and movements that's gonna look so similar, so familiar to us, and it's gonna be very confusing, man.
Well, confusing or not, it's the same draft for the next game. The Land of Dawn awaits. It's RRQ and Falcon. Match point still for RRQ.
Right. For the most part, I don't think there's any real big difference in the emblems. So again, this is an uncanny, similar game. I wonder if RRQ are going to do things differently, because in the early game, we did see that there's a lot of HP bars getting very, very low, but the first blood eventually was picked up by Falcon. So we'll see if RRQ can break the trend and actually get that first blood this time.
I think the only difference here is this time the XP lane is on the top side.
So that's how we know we're not, time, like we didn't time travel.
It's not a glitch, guys. We're not in the Matrix. It's okay.
Well, I mean, still, the fact here is Falcon looking to take this to Game 5, and if they're happy with what they drafted previously, they might as well continue it. I think the biggest thing here for Vin specifically is to be a little bit more cautious on those initiations, but if you want to just take that risk, go for it. You do have, that match advantage too, but still, I feel like even R7, right, going against Yellow Flash, notice the difference too. Yellow Flash running with a flicker instead of the sprint like we saw previously, he makes it work, right? But I do think that Falcon has this draft figured out for now.
Oh, but we can already see the presence from both teams now, but I got a feeling they may take it a little bit slower than what we've seen in the past. Not as aggressive in this first 2 minutes.
Well, we have to see. I mean, R7 already doing so much better against the Glue here. So, small differences, but for the most part, I think we can see the big bulk of difference coming in as far as the turtle fight is considered, right? Because for both these teams, they definitely want to go aggressive towards that turtle, and I think that's where we're going to see the decisive moment in who gets the early game.
Well, Turtle now spawned here. Both junglers in position, half health. R7 trying to clear that lane as well to get here with Clay. Vin making his way as well. Naomi also getting that level 4 available. Who takes it?
Cannon's in a very bad spot in between 3 members, but finally Falcon is here to help. Clay finds the turtle. Ken, stuck against the wall, will go down. So that is a first blood for the side of RRQ. Yellow Flash sitting on top of R7, wants to find revenge for his team. Will succeed in that one, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Turtle goes to RRQ.
The first blood goes to RRQ as well, so already a change. Again, we're just being reminded it's not the same game, but in the mid lane, it's the same situation, right? Aggression, wave pushing, and I think the matchup we need to take a look at is also in that gold lane. If ZipX can still get a huge lead in the early game, there's no reason why he can't replicate the same results of the previous game. That is something that RRQ needs to keep in mind, and maybe try and spend more time and resources to ensure that Skylar is the one snowballing instead.
Well, check out this M4 stat here. Albert is the 3rd player to surpass 200 kills in M-Series, joining Chica Guys and Oheb. So Albert, obviously, I mean, everybody knows at this point, Albert is a incredible player, really a component here for RRQ to work around. But even as a team, I mean, I would say that RRQ in general, across the board, especially with, the way that they've refined their play style on the macro and micro level, everything is apparent. But in terms of aggression, the aggressive play style, they like to go at it.
Ooh, Skylar taking a lot of damage. Ken doesn't want to let him go. Skylar able to be on my way, but Zigzaps has locked on. Vin goes down. They're going to look for it. Naomi in the tower. Nice poke. And they find him. That's 2 kills for the side of the Falcons.
There's 2 kills, and RRQ has no real answer. The early game from Falcon, yet again, showing to be very, very strong. The Beatrix and the Franco being a very deadly combo. For RRQ, though, they're just trying to recover and still waiting for the next neutral objective. Albert is still farming pretty okay, but the longer he lets this go on, the more he is susceptible to getting taken out by the damage that is scaling from the side of Falcon.
Wow, look at that. The bottom turret already chunked down. It's almost completely gone here. ZipX, similar like last game, he's having a pretty good time on this Beatrix as now they fight for the turtle.
Yeah, Albert's going to take his time this time, along with RRQ. Look at Vin, cocking up, trying to land something, does not land though. Yellow Flash is on to Albert though. Albert takes the turtle, and now it's a battle. In the middle, Ken able to take out Vin, but Skylar takes out Ken. It's a 1-for-2 currently. No, 3 members of Falcon down. Albert finds Yellow Flash in the final moments of that fight. RQ takes the advantage.
That's a 3-for-2 for RRQ. They're able to get a huge combo going in, and of course with all the AoE they have in this early game, they got a bit of a lead, but later on, if they replicate the same kind of play style, remember, ZipX will be out-damaging Skylar unless he gets nuked in the initial engage before that. So that's something that RRQ needs to adjust once they go into the mid-game. Looking at the emblems right now, Demon Slayer for both jungles, nothing real too surprising, but with all the mages going Mystery Shop, both teams are trying to go for early game aggression.
Well, Albert got that, right? And I mean, even looking at emblems, looking at items here, the one thing that's apparent is why Fredrin is picked so often. You see that clump that Falcon really goes into when they're team fighting, especially around Naomi. But with the taunt and with the CC there, it's so strong here with his Fredrin pick, especially when things kind of just fall into place and that burst potential is there with Clay and that damage over time from Skylar when he gets the Blazing Duet off. Now, it is going to take Skylar a little bit longer here to get to that online point for this Claude, but still, you can't count ZipX out just yet, right? He hasn't died. He's done a pretty good job farming up, and he's got the 4 assists. So weapon mastery Beatrix here is going to be scary as the game goes on.
Of course, Naomi trying his best to ensure that Beatrix will actually be successful in the late game. RRQ tries to defend this turret, but it's just too low. They'll be forced to back away as ZipX picks up that BOD. That's a lot of burst damage to anyone that gets set up by Naomi. And remember, in the late game, AoE will be favoring the side of Falcon, right? Justin going up against Clay, the Lunos has a lot of damage, but in the late game, it's only going to be single target, whereas we saw that Justin in that late game on the Valentina, that's a lot of damage output to multiple people and multiple applications of the crowd control.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Falcon want, and this is why ZipX now going to be able to rotate up onto this lane. Wait, a nice shot.
Whoa,
comes on. Albert will get terrified. Ken able to secure it. Albert finally goes down. Turtle over to the side of Falcon, and Ken wants more. Finds Vin. Clay able to pick up Ken, though, so it's 2 for 1 currently. Make that a 3 for 1. Justin wants to try to lock onto R7, but R7's very slippery. Tries to readjust himself, thinks it over, doesn't want to dive too deep because right now Falcon is on the rise.
Wow, unfortunate for RRQ there. Skylar was not there for that fight because, I mean, a Blazing Duet at that point would have been crucial for that, but Falcon able to get the advantage, now building on this gold lead.
And that's exactly what I meant, like, taking that tower, Falcon focusing onto that gold lane was extremely important to how they move into the mid phase of this game. Skylar, on the other hand, gonna need to stay down here if they don't want to lose any more towers.
That's why RRQ, they just keep going head-to-head, trying to go mechanics against mechanics. But honestly, if Falcon has set up so successfully to give themselves a huge one-man advantage and denying the Blazing Duet from that big team fight, RRQ at some point need to understand that there are some fights they need to back away from or at least approach differently. Maybe wait out some of the ultimates and then go in when Falcon is not expecting it.
Oh, big Tyrant's Rage. They're going to capitalize. Justin goes down, and that's a nice kill into the pocket of Skylar. Try to get a little bit of chip damage onto that tower as Falcon decides to take off. But while this is happening, ZipX claims more ground, taking away a tower on the top side.
Falcon's basically just making wins around the map where they can find them because, I mean, you got to watch out for Vin, right? The setup potential is there. You've also got to work on these objectives because as everything transitions on, we're only moments away from that first Lord here, and you want to be able to have that space to work with. So right now, Falcon still having that little bit of lead in terms of gold. ZipX now picking up the Malefic Roar here. That's going to be massive in terms of damage department. So RRQ, they got to be cautious how they approach this Lord. Skylar as well wants to be able to time that Blazing Duet, especially if for some reason Albert gets those taunts off that knock up on multiple members of Falcon.
For the next fight though, RRQ, Clay will have the glowing one ready, so that's a lot of DPS as Vin tries to engage a fight.
Oh, but he gets shut down. No Tyrant's Rage for RRQ. Wait a second. R7 into the backside with the Blazing Duet. It's enough chip damage to take down ZipX and Naomi. RRQ showing dominance right now in these team fights. Yellow Flash now come back in along with Ken. Of course, use a flicker. Ken doesn't have the does have the decimation, but decides not to use it there. Falcon able to at least push them away from the Lord, but they lose a lot in that team fight.
Not only that, R7 just took the purple.
R7 takes the purple, which is Again, another insult to injury for the side of Falcon. Unfortunate for them, this is what we've been talking about. R7 was able to go in towards that back line, and Zipex is not nearly strong enough to be a solo threat towards that Joy, and Finn goes in again.
That was a beautiful cancel on that Tyrant's Rage. Falcon now may have a little bit of a possibility for this. It's a Lord battle.
Wow.
Ken takes it, but a couple members getting low. R7 found by Naomi. It's a beautiful hook. Vin misses it. The outplay from Zipex is beautiful. Ken now gonna try to move on to Skylar here. Push him back. RRQ against the ropes.
That's a weird back and forth coming in from RRQ, and Vin so desperate to find the knockup onto Zipex. It just wasn't working out. Unfortunately, as nicely mentioned, on the Kufra, missing the Tyrant's Revenge is gonna actually leave you in such a vulnerable state, and Zipex completely took advantage of that. And for now, with all the members being so tanky, RRQ needs to find a different method of fighting aside from just picking off one of the tankier members. Maybe diving more towards Zipex and denying that DPS will work. I mean, we saw that successfully play out in the previous team fight.
Well, right now, they've got to deal with this Lord on the top side. It is just the first one, so should be able to make quick work of it. Naomi, though, waiting for an angle if he can find one to get that numbers advantage. The tier 2 in the mid lane is going to go down here. Falcon full tempo mode here, 4K gold lead, and they're going for another turret.
Definitely pushing the tempo for sure. Falcon trying to give everyone around the world a show right now, but we cannot count RQ out just yet.
If you count RRQ out, you've seen what they can do, man. They can be behind in gold, behind in numbers as well. It doesn't even matter. You need to take them seriously at every turn, and we've seen that in this game, at least, they found a bit more success in those big team fights. Of course, the next one wasn't that good, but they make adjustments on the fly. This is what they're famous for. So you can see that Falcon is still very much respecting the possibility of RRQ just coming out with a very unexpected play. They stick S4 just in case there's a death bush somewhere with 5 members from RRQ inside it.
I mean, even with all that said about RRQ, right now, Falcon, you can say the same about them, right? I mean, they work really well with this gold lead, and they've been doing an amazing job at just protecting Zipex, and this was the case that they needed to solve when it came to Game 3 and now Game 4, right? Zipex had a great time farming up. He's protected well from Naomi and Yellow Flash, and they're going to push it down to the bottom side.
Naomi lands a hook on Skylar. That's a big pick. Falcon now with the numbers advantage. Going to try to push this lead. All damage off the board for RQ. R7 won't be able to do much against this lineup without someone else coming in. Minions now encroaching in onto the mid side. It does have a defense, so Vin tries to come in, gonna get stunned, immobilized, but Albert does find the taunt onto Justin, but Zipex brings out the Beer's passion. R7 will fall. Ken able to still rise up, gets a double kill onto Vin. Falcon backing off, but finds so much in that push.
Justin still alive after doing all that damage, and with 3 members down, Falcon goes for the aggressive play. They might just go for the end here. They have the tools to make it happen.
They're definitely going to try it. Brilliance comes out to dodge the hook, but Skylar back on the field. Going to need to be a little bit careful here. Even though he's behind, he still packs a punch. Lord back on the field.
This might be a Holy Mary play from Albert. Trying to get in position to even take this, but he's gonna get locked down.
Ooh, Zipex melting down Albert. Albert forced dash. No Hail Mary play here. Naomi was waiting. Sniper out. Locked and loaded. Lands. That's a lot of damage. Boom. This is huge for Falcon.
I was waiting for a boom goes the dynamite, but just like that, Falcon securing another Lord, furthering that gold lead, and they are prepped and ready to go for this march into the base that could just bring us to a Game 5 here.
RRQ is struggling so hard right now because even if Skylar wants to go in the blazing duet towards that back line, he can go with the Wind of Nature, but Justin is still doing an insane amount of damage as well, and that is what is denying him the chance to just shut down Zipex, and this Beatrix is just so much damage coming out from the side of the Falcons.
Definitely a lot of damage. Vin trying to push out. Yellow Flash along with holding it. Lord will get melted out, but Skylar with the blazing duet. Not enough though. Ken still in the field. Vin will be the first to fall in this fight. Ken down as well. Clay finally finds it. Albert will be next. A double kill for Clay. Justin still looking for something. It's 2 for 2 currently, but Falcon maybe staying a little bit too long. Yellow Flash needs to be careful here. R7 and Skylar onto it, and that is a pause.
Well, okay. Oof. That was heated. Not expecting that either, but
I'm heated.
yep. This heated match, and I gotta say, man, I was watching Yellow Flash, and you know, Skylar was working on him, but still, it was a 2-for-2 trade. They were holding on there, and it's, I mean, down to this moment, right? It looked like Falcon, like you mentioned, overstayed a little bit. So could RRQ turn that around? You're still working against a massive lead here for Falcon. Space advantage, item advantage. It's going to be a big blunder if something happens to Falcon and they let this one slip out of their hands.
For RRQ though, it's a breath of fresh air they're really required to try and even attempt to come back. Fortunately, it all went to the hands of Clay, so now if they want to go for more pickoffs, definitely the Chaos Balls are going to do a lot more damage, so that is good, but would you rather have the kills in the hands of Clay or the hands of Skylar? Because right now, both of them have, I don't know, they are having an equally difficult time trying to get to that back line. And even R7, you see that Falcon has adjusted and they're using all their crowd control to ensure that R7 cannot get an easy dive in. At this point, if RRQ wants to try and get someone in the back line, someone towards ZipX, I think they're required to sacrifice someone to that bloody hunt. You have to pick either Clay, Skylar, or R7. One of them needs to take the crowd control.
I feel like as long as ZipX runs free, he's going to be able to possibly carry Falcons to new heights right now. RQ, as we can see, there is a little bit of troubleshooting happening right now. Not the greatest time for that to happen, but it is still a heated match, as Nice who said. And honestly, I don't care who wins out in the best of 5 of this. I do hope that Falcon wins this one, because after these games, I want a full 5.
Well, we're jumping back in after that little break here. And as we catch up, it is Falcon going to go ahead and retreat, regenerate, and get ready for the next objective push. Still, it was a 2-for-2 trade. Falcon having quite a bit of immortalities available to them as well. But still, like Arashi mentioned, RRQ's got to be able to solve the issue of ZipX, take out that impactful damage, and meanwhile, even avoid all those iron hooks that have been on point so far from Naomi.
On that note, we saw that play in the bottom side where Naomi was able to hook Skylar despite everyone being in the same spot. RRQ need to coordinate and again, decide who needs to take the iron hook, worst case scenario if it cannot be dodged. But if you look at the items right here, R7 already adapting his build, going for the blade armor instead, ensuring that he needs, to survive just a bit longer, be that much more annoying for ZipX to deal with. But of course, with all the items completed for ZipX, including the Has Claws, there's a chance he can just out-sustain the damage coming in from a semi-tank Joy.
Well, right now, Conceal Play going to come out here. I think they just want to avoid these hooks. Skylar picking up the Corrosive Scythe. That's going to be a key pickup for this Claude as they try to figure out how to get to the back line of Falcon.
You know, right now, this is the point where Falcon wants to use the lane advantage. They want to try to keep that bottom lane pushed in so that RQ has to keep on sending someone over. They have the minion advantage. They have a big macro play here. I don't think they need to be too aggressive, honestly. They could have an easy Lord. The only advantage that RQ has, though, is this Joy, who should be able to clean that lane very quickly and still move so fast back to the Lord pit.
On the issue of turrets as well, there's only one being taken by RRQ.
Uh-oh.
The rest of the turrets are available, but look at that.
Ooh, Yellow Flash gets brought very low, but Vin gets hooked in. Albert trying to help out. R7 in the backside trying to lock on to ZipX. ZipX just too bulky. R7 wants it, forced to retreat now. Namir's passion comes out, and Justin finds R7. Next might be Albert. He's a bulky boy, though. Snipe shot comes in. Immortality pops. Albert's still on the field, not enough. Ken finds him. Now it's 3 up against 5, and a Luminous Lord on the field. This is rough.
That was a rough time to get picked off in a bad position there. Skylar, if you notice, he couldn't even join that fight because he was half health, and somehow Yellow Flash was able to attach himself to Skylar, forcing him even further back to heal up. And just like that again, Falcon grabs themselves a Lord, looking to siege the base of RRQ.
Most definitely, Falcon gonna move in onto this inhibitor. They break it down. Play Vin. Vin's gonna get hooked. Can't finish the Tyrant's Revenge. Will go down. ZipX picking it up. Skylar with the blazing duet though. Naomi brought low, able to get away with a sliver of health. R7 trying to help out, but Ken is now here. He has an immortality, so you know he's ready to go. Minions do land on. Lord has not spawned yet. I don't know if Falcon wants to push so deep, but they have a huge gold advantage. Lord finally on the field now. Falcon gonna think about how they want to do this push.
They're just sieging slowly but surely, and that range advantage is just so annoying. And we can see that Skylar, he can't even go in full towards the back line. He just has to try and dance around and use the max range of the Blazing Duet. And Clay gets chucked down, and Falcon makes their move.
And Albert trying to push this Lord a little bit to the bottom side. Ken comes in. Albert, R7, very, very low. Albert goes down first. Lord onto the base. Falcon closing the distance, bridging the gap, and taking us to game number 5.
We wouldn't want it any other way.
I love Mobile
5
Legends.
games is what we want here in this type of match.
Man, Falcon just won't give in, man. Falcon is freaking fighting back. It's 2-2. So last game, game 5, whoever wins this. Yeah, man, props to the Falcon, man, for answering back. I mean, even if Falcon loses the next match, good job on them. Who will win though? Is it gonna be Falcon? Can Falcon pull 3 win straight, a straight 3 win? Or is RRQ gonna wake up and end this momentum, man? Falcon is on a whew. By the way, great job by Glue on that last clash. Before the Lord was taken, Glue actually attached to Claude. While the others were fighting, Glue attached to Claude, forcing Claude to teleport back to his monkey and go home. Even Claude trying to bring Glue onto the base. But still, great job for Glue for taking Claude out of that clash, because Claude would have been deadly there. Claude on that last clash would have been deadly. So Glue had his sights on Claude. Whew. Dang. Game 5, 12 minutes. Come on, man, let's start already. Nah, I think the players needs to rest. What do you guys think on this best of 5 match? Is the fatigue and stress a factor? I think yes, because the stress, right? Is the stress and fatigue gonna be a factor for the game 5? Can Falcon keep up with this momentum? Can they keep going? It's gonna be a 3 straight win. It's gonna be amazing, to be honest, if Falcon manages to win for 3 straight times. Bibigay daw ni Ibet yung sahod. Okay, asay na? Bipin Singh, what's up? Will you join as a professional player, Elgin? Probably not. We're more of a content creator. Bipin Singh. Pressure as well. Pressure and stress, man. I wonder what's going through these players' minds, right? Just imagine how much pressure they have. I think one of the good things if you're a pro player is that you can easily create a presence in social media, in YouTube or Facebook or whatnot. If you're a pro player and after you retire, you have a good chance of creating social media presence because people already believes in you, right? People will instantly listen to you because you most likely know what you're talking about. Who do you think will win, Elgin? I'm not sure, man, to be honest. I'm not sure. I mean, RRQ was dominating the first and second game. I think Falcon is finally getting the rhythm. Falcon is finally figuring out how the RRQ works. Because on the first and second game, during the early matches, it's always close. Falcon was actually kind of leading even in the early matches during the first 2 games wherein Falcon lost. But like I said, somehow RRQ Hoshi will slowly start taking the clashes, and they will get more out of the clashes as compared to the Falcon, leading to a loss. So probably change in the strategy of the RRQ. The polls is now reversed. Ooh, a lot of Falcon guys are now on. Now, I think Kerry was banned on some of the stuff. I know they need to ban Franco. Are they gonna ban? Are they gonna ban Franco on this next one? Is it gonna be worth it to ban Franco, opening up other priority bans? Ooh, come on, let's go. I know, right? Naomi is just a monster. Even Naomi Grak. Even Naomi Grak, man. Naomi Grak is also a fun. I do like RRQ, man, but on Falcon, the specific person I like watching is Naomi. So whoever wins, man, and they're both teams. Props to both teams for giving us a great show, and props to Falcon for answering back and not just quietly losing, man. Naomi. Vin Bila. Do you remember Vince Cadita from the group stage? I think that was the worst. During the group stage, Vin had used Cadita. I think that was the worst game he had during the M4. On the Cadita. He was on Cadita then. Let's listen to the Shoutcaster's thoughts on that last match.
Kill participation or team fight participation is a little bit higher, right, compared to the counterpart R7. To show you, like, the entire side of the Falcon, they play more of a unit. They play 5-man team fights. They like to take advantage of numbers, and that's exactly what they're doing here with this. Let's take a look at a highlight for our MVP today, Yellow Flag.
A very important kill onto R7 with, again, Glue being activated earlier on. And come the 4-minute mark, this will be the Lord Dance. Normally, RQ Hoshi wins this, especially if Albert holds the Frederick. But this time, there is a lot of retaliation coming out from Falcon. Ken securing that turtle and the kill afterwards. That was very much the deal breaker for Falcon in this game.
We need to give credit to Ken, man, because the amount of lords and turtles he was able to steal in this game was absolutely amazing. It was crucial to the comeback that Falcon was able to amount to.
And also, you got to see the positioning from the entire side of Falcon, right? It's so hard to get to Zipix. And RRQ know this better than anyone else. They're in the game. They have to get to Zipix. They have to somehow get to this Beatrix, but they couldn't. They just can't. It's so hard to get to that. And I think because of that, it kind of gives RRQ confusion of what do we do? Do we even initiate? Do we not initiate? And Falcon took advantage of that and played really decisive, finding whatever hook they can. Every target they found is exactly like last game. The history repeats itself, which is a 2-shot annihilation.
So, again, for me personally, I feel like the Kufra pick just hasn't worked out, right? Up against a Franco, and honestly, up against so much that can really stop that setup from happening. It's going to be really tough to pull off that Kufra, and it was even harder earlier.
And maybe just don't let the Falcon just play their very comfortable style as you saw in back-to-back games.
We're going to throw it to our hosts, Mara and Clara. Take it away.
Oh, so.
Lord Breaker, the song indents, and here we are, Clara and Mara, with 5 beautiful Indonesian girls, pro player, girlfriends, and of course, they will say something about this match, Mara. Yeah, I'm actually curious. Whose girlfriend? Tell us who your partner is. Pacarnya siapa aja? Orang udah pada tahu sih ya. Ini Ayang Babes-nya dari Bogor nih.
Hey.
Esa, from Bogor. Eca. Mana ya?
Queenie.
Enggak nyampe. Their
player
partner.
Nggak usah tau gini ya.
Queenie, Skylar, okay. Lippy,
Finn.
Albert, and
I'm here just to accompany her.
supportive friend. Pro player. Okay, now, for sure you know the situation right now being pro players. They were up by 2, they needed 1 more to do a sweep. Falcon made a comeback. Give us an inside scoop of what your partners must be feeling right now.
Mereka lagi main terus hampir menang, tiba-tiba kebalik. Kira-kira mereka ngerasain apa sih?
What's going through their
Apa nih
mind right
kira-kira
now?
nih?
You know them.
I don't know. Maybe in the backstage he's just calming himself down and preset for the next game.
He's calming himself down
Ya,
right
jadi
now.
dibikin santai aja dan harus reset. Pokoknya karena ini tinggal 1 game lagi ya. Oke, kalau dari Lipi, dari Lipi mungkin kira-kira
How does he deal with stress in this situation?
Mungkin bakal cuci muka dulu, terus ya bakal reset, nenangin satu sama lain. Yang penting tetap percaya satu sama lain.
Okay, washing their face first.
Oh, he washes his face.
Refresh the mood and then cheering up each other.
So that's the
Probably
secret.
That Finn will do.
Refresh, wash the face. I wonder who their facial sponsor is.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Queenie?
Halo?
Hello.
Go to smoking. Ya mungkin mereka merokok dulu.
Menenangkan diri ya, ngerelaksasi diri.
Bagi mereka kalau sebat itu kayak relaxnya mereka lah.
Oke. Tapi kalau dari Deden from Bogor gimana ini?
Ya mungkin saling nenangin aja, terus saling semangatin sih mereka ngobrol-ngobrol, terus reset.
Okay, talk to each other and calming and cheering for each other. It's the most important thing.
He's the one that usually does the pep talk.
Siapa nih yang biasanya yang paling suka nyemangatin siapa sih kalau di antara anak-anak RRQ Hoshi?
I think Finn.
Finn ya?
Finn is the
is
one that's
most
vocal. And you know what? We're gonna take a look to see if that pep talk worked because we're gonna go to game number 5 and determine who the winner is. Casters.
And there we go, guys. So shout out to my wife. I love you. There we go. So let's focus on the game. 2 minutes before the next match. This is 2-2. Who do you think will take it home, man? Great job by Falcon. Great job, Falcon. Let's listen. Let's listen to the casters' thoughts about the game. Do they have something good to say? Let's listen.
Exact draft. Are we going to expect that from both teams? Or is it going to be something different? Is this the time that we see possibly maybe Albert doesn't play the Fredrin, pulls out one of those assassin picks?
I feel like the logical approach is to try and do something different, man. They tried it twice. It played out more or less the same way, so I think something needs to change for sure. I mean, Jay said it, right? 60 to 70% of the game all relies on the initial draft already, so I think something can be improved there, and the execution can get a bit of work as well. Man, I'm excited, but I'm also a bit anxious about the whole thing, being an Indonesian.
Well,
can't blame me.
Hey, that's okay, man.
blame you.
I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, but also too, I mean, we talked about a lot of things here in the draft, and even with game 3 and 4 being very similar drafts, exactly the same.
Okay, they're just... I can't understand actually what they're saying, but we're all hyped on this game. This is just the appetizer though. Remember, we still have the Valley and the Onyx and still Blacklist and the Echo, so we have one hype day, man. This is... Who will go home? Again, guys, whoever's the winner on the Valley and the Blacklist, I mean the Valley and Onyx, they're gonna have to fight whoever's gonna win this. And who do you think has the better chance? RRQ or Falcon against either the Valley or Onyx? Man, this is just a freaking appetizer and we're already... Good opening. Cosplay Mara. I'm not sure too. I'm not sure why. Oh snap. Stolen shot. She's texting me though. She's texting me. Oh, here we go. Draft pick. We're gonna shut up. Hi forever together. We're We're gonna shut up for now and listen to the draft pick. Let's go, guys. Last game.
Concentrate that damage on the targets they needed. A lot of the times, again, being Naomi, whoever he lands the Iron Hook on. So if you're RRQ, you really want to approach this draft with a different mindset here and not maybe even allowing the Beatrix or the Franco to go in the hands of Falcon here. Play around. Again, the headline of this matchup is the tempo. Who will start that tempo? Who maintains it? And better yet, if they can keep it on their side.
I mean, to maintain that tempo for RRQ, they require a lot of pick-off damage as well. They've been trying to utilize the Lunox as much as possible, but clearly so far it has not been working as much as intended. And maybe a different roamer with more lockdown can work as well. Because when they're able to actually lock down members from Falcon and shut them down all the way from the early game, we see that that is where they're able to get control. That is where they're able to get those value pickoffs and turn the game around. They need crowd control and they need damage.
Well, we're going to find out here as we have the draft of the final game. And there is a difference. Already, the Franco is banned out. The respect is there from RRQ.
But will it make the difference? There is a difference, but will it make the difference? I do like the Franco ban. You know, Falcon learned at Game 3 that they needed to ban out Vin's Grok. And now in Game 5, RRQ making an important decision here, banning out that Franco. Now, this is going to now leave the Kaja possibly open, or it's going to force Falcon to not ban out the carry, but either way, so now Kaja open, and we saw Vin play it the other day.
Kaja, or do you take the Eve?
Ooh.
It's neither. They
It's
take the glue.
All right, so they felt like it was too tanky, it's too annoying. We saw that R7 was able to use it very well in the game number 2, so I think they go for it again. But as we mentioned, the Kaja is available, and if Falcon really values that DPS, that damage, single target damage, they can just deal with tanks. They can pick up a gold laner early on as well. So much potential here. The Jeeve, as we mentioned, is available if they want to go for more utility and maybe a bit more of healing reduction with the Necklace of Durance as well. So it's so insane that we can't really predict because we have no idea. We've seen the same draft twice, and now that we're in the final game, we have no idea what to expect.
True, but I mean, this is definitely throwing a little bit of a wrench into things, and hold on a second. Now, with the Kaja pick, that's not the one I want to focus on because Falcon picking up the Lunox, don't want to give that to the hands of Clay, and honestly, just like RQ is picking it so much, it is still a great pick for Falcon because it can be that deciding factor in bursting down this glue, bursting down R7 when it tries to invade.
I believe ZipX has played the Lunox in the gold lane as well, so again, multiple possibilities coming in from Falcon, and they are the ones now with the good crowd control, with the good source of burst damage, but RRQ counters with the Beatrix and the Fredrin, and that is Skylar on his quote-unquote signature hero.
I like this, right? Already a couple changes going here. RRQ able to secure that Beatrix pick like we've been talking about a lot, not going in the hands of ZipX, and then you still have Albert most likely running this Fredrin, right? It is a solid choice, a hero to just go in for the objectives. You have the utility, you've got the CC, and the best thing too is if you can land it on multiple members, now you have the Beatrix there to unleash. Like you guys mentioned, AoE damage is going to be big in this fight. Again, the final game between these two teams. A last pickup though from Falcon will be that Valentina once again.
And that guarantees the Lunox most likely into the gold lane. Yes, a little bit of flexibility. We see maybe the Valentina go into the jungle ever so slightly, but I don't think that's going to happen here. This is going to mean ZipX gold lane up against Skylar with that Beatrix. The table has definitely been flipped.
And now that's a lot of magic damage coming in from the side of Falcon. So most likely with the Hilda ban, they're trying to go for, I guess, an assassin, a physical damage assassin makes sense here. They have 3 heroes that does magical damage already. So more one-dimensional compared to RRQ. They recognize the threat, the potential of an assassin. They ban away that Fanny, and the final ban is going to be the Yi.
Well, already, right? Last couple choices here. Go ahead and dealing with the Fanny. They don't want to go against that matchup, right? The assassin matchup. You've already got the Fredrin here on the board. Eve was a great last ban as well from Falcon. They take that utility out. It's going to force something here on Clay to respond, especially to that Valentina again, and be cautious of exactly what ultimates you're providing here. Because right now, there's not many great choices, right, for Justin to take.
Lilia, Farza come to mind, right? A possibility there for Clay. Of course, I think at this point you just kind of have to give up the fact that, like, yes, they're going to steal our ultimate. We just have to use it better here. My question is, I'm sure you have a thought on the mage, but also, what do we see in the jungle from Ken?
What we see in the jungle, considering it's a lot of burst damage, something a bit more aggressive. The Martis is still a possibility.
Lane?
If he wants to go for that Granger, that can still be used as well if they want to just go full all in the early game. That's what they seem to be very good at doing. But for the side of RRQ, remember, with such a composition, they need a solid late game long range mage as well. But for Falcon, it's going to be Uranus.
This is a little risky, right?
Yes.
Uranus is not, I mean, there was once upon a time, but this was a very high priority pick for the XP lane. But now, people kind of like to debate, is it a good choice still to park in that lane? Yes, you're pretty much, I mean, at some point, you're kind of unkillable. You have a lot of sustain, a lot of durability. But really, what do you provide for your team here in comparison to what you're going to see across from you, which is that glue? There's the Farsa pick, like you guys mentioned, and it's rounded out with the Lolita.
I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, yes, the Uranus used to be a decent pick, but right now with the standing of marksmen and these DHS builds, these speed builds, it's not going to be easy for him. And he doesn't have, I mean, right now, I don't think he has sustainability against Glue. Maybe he will be able to stalemate R7, and if Falcon can just focus into the gold lane, maybe they can catch a win that way. But the final question is, once again, what does Ken pick up here for the jungle? He's sitting looking at that marksman page right now. I was thinking something more on the lines of the assassins, but Granger? Granger.
It makes sense, man. It's a lot of burst damage in the early game. It's the long-range kill secure death Sonata. It will be that Granger, and this is a complete flip, right? This is Falcon going all in the early game, maybe banking on a split push Uranus in the late game, but for RRQ, it's team fight all the way to add to their crowd control. Even a Numeron Blast on a Lolita, it makes sense, but will it work?
I don't know. So much is on the line right now. And the Granger failed in game 1. If Falcon wins it in game 5, it's going to be a statement.
That's going to be a redemption arc for Ken alone here. Falcon, though, I mean, both team compositions, they've got their win conditions. It's going to come down to the execution factor and who can set the pace first, set the tempo, as that's been the story, the narrative between these two teams here. And now we're down to that final match as we just wait to load up here. Again, two teams, the lives are on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 5. Will the kingdom thrive or the Falcons soar on? We're about to find out.
Just like that, we're into the game. Looking at the emblems, nothing too crazy. Killing spree yet again in the hands of Ken on that Granger, trying to make sure that he can go as aggressive as possible. And remember, from so far away, this roster, this composition coming in from Falcon can just instantly pick someone off. So in the early game, it's definitely a safe play coming in from RRQ, logically speaking, but sometimes RRQ, they don't operate by basic logic.
Oh, already trying to make a gank on his Zipex, and this is what I wanted to see Falcon do, but RRQ taking the initiative over that gold lane.
Well, right now, you can see, right? They need to focus as much as possible on ZipX, not allowing him to get an advantage here in that gold lane matchup. Skylar needs to be able to come online as fast as possible as well, and still the objective game is going to be up to Albert and Ken. Can Ken get the tempo on this Granger pick? That is going to be crucial for him as the fight for even the purple buff. The tension is here. Vin getting in position.
Ooh, a lot of damage on a Naomi there. Albert has claimed that position. Ken maybe going to try to pull something here. Big stun on Justin. Justin able to flicker away. Yellow flash also coming in. But the Appraisal's Wrath deletes Ken. First blood to the side of RRQ.
It's first blood for RRQ, and that is Ken shut down again in the early game. We're seeing glimpses from game number 2 right here. That is not the start that a Granger wants in this game. And with that pressure, they're already trying to translate that to the other side lanes. Clay on this Farsa has been very actively roaming around. This is what they need to do. Abuse that mobility from the wings by wings.
Yeah, I think biggest thing here, You use that mobility to your advantage. You find picks if you can. If not, secure the objectives, right? That's exactly what RRQ is going to do here with this first turtle. Just going to go cleanly in their hands, able to continue to build on this tempo.
Whoa! And trying to get the play.
Oh!
Will get stunned here. Vin trying to cock it low, but they both respond. Ken goes down. Vin finds the kill. Justin tries to help out, but not fast enough. That's 2 deaths for Ken in only 2.5 minutes.
It's a death for Ken, but on the bright side, they were able to take Skylar out, but they used so much time and resources to ensure that result. In the mid lane, both are trying to build for a Clock of Destiny. The burst damage from the mid lane definitely favors Clay in the early stage. This range coming in from the Feather Airstrike is something that Falcon hasn't been dealing with in the past few games.
Yeah, and at the same time, you know, Naomi being on this Kaja, it's a little bit different here, right? Instead of that Franco, you've got to put yourself in a position to be able to get that Divine Judgment off, and finding the right target as well is going to be difficult with 3 tanky boys here. Look at the pressure on the purple buff.
Albert just continues to come in, Clay creating space for his team to claim this buff. Vin about to use that Yona blast. Ken finds R7. A nice play. The stun does land down on a Falcon, so they can't push the objective too much. So they trade a purple buff. Oh, Zipex finding Skylar in the off lane as well. Falcon trying to keep the tempo.
Early game Lunox damage. If you're a squishy mage, you do not want to deal with that. This is showing again the flexibility of ZipX and how much you're trading when you try and shut down Ken. RRQ is spending so much time, but they're allowing ZipX, the man who was carrying the past 2 games, to actually have a good time in the lane.
Well, at the same time, I'm wondering here, right? With ZipX having that lead now, again, Skylar's died twice. So that already puts you in a good position if you're ZipX here. A little action in the mid lane, not going to convert into anything just yet, but still, transitioning mid-game, you've got to be careful of that damage from this Lunox pick. Has the Mystery Shop, will be able to scale quite quickly, especially if more kills go in favor of ZipX. You can see already attention being put there on the top side. Turtle now up here. The turtle dance going to ensue. Albert in position.
Yeah, and Clay does not have the feathered airstrike right now, so the sniper shot does come down. Vin with the moon on blast, trying to create space. Watch Zipex, comes in, gets some nice damage. Skylar takes the turtle. Albert finds Naomi. Now Ken with a lot of range, dropping that Destinata, but Yellow Flash a little bit too deep. Will get deleted once again. Albert with a double kill. Justin tries to flicker, but Skylar finds him. Zipex trying to dodge. Nice flicker, but R7 is here along with the rest of the team. RRQ wants suppression coming down, and Zipex, along with the rest of the team, fall. The crowd is wild, and RRQ reigns supreme in the early game.
It's effectively a wipeout for RRQ, man. Every single member of Falcon fall, and this is what RRQ is able to do. Once they smell blood in the water, they just keep going. They don't let you escape. With that huge play, you can see Skylar recovers, having that BOD right now. That's a lot of burst damage, and Ken is just in such a tough situation. Only a Hunter Strike when he is supposed to be the main carry in the mid-game for the side of Falcon. It's just catastrophic, as R7 has a reading armor, so even if Justin wants to step in, if ZipX wants to try and burst him down, it's going to be very difficult, and Albert follows with a reading armor of his own.
Not only that, but the whole fact that, you know, Skylar was struggling a little bit, but that whole interaction just put him in a great position, and at the same time, now Albert being even tankier with this lead here, he's 1,000 gold ahead of Ken. It's even going to be more difficult to get past Albert, get to the objectives. Conceal play coming out. They're still putting pressure here on the nest of the Falcons.
Yeah, it's looking very rough for Falcons right now, with already it being almost 4,000 gold deficit for them. Another turtle's going to be up in 20 seconds.
Oh, no.
Watch out. Ken almost gets stunned. A nice dash away, though. Now Naomi's going to hold the front side. Nice Renner shot onto Zipex, and the range of RRQ right now is too much for the Falcons to handle.
Keep in mind, later on in the game, there is a Lolita in the hands of Vin. That Bulwark is going to block a lot of damage, but look at that.
That's going to be it. A nice pick. R7, though, doing a great job of surviving.
What?
It's not it. Zipex comes out of the clutch and finds him. But is this enough for Falcons to redeem themselves?
He bought so much time, right? R7 able to cause the distraction, secures the turtle. Clean sweep now for RRQ. And it's a 3.5k gold lead. This is massive at 7 minutes into the game.
And they're still not stopping anytime soon, man. This is what they do. They just press on the tempo, and they have to be careful though. Naomi can still very easily go for a pickoff, but for now, they are in the jungle of Falcon, taking control of the Falcon's nest.
I mean, at this point, I don't even think Naomi can go for the pickoff. The moment he dives in there, if he does not find Skylar, he is going to get instantly shredded. Right now, RRQ taking so much material on the map, it's looking very, very grim.
Here's the thing you have to do if you're Falcon, right? It's a 4K deficit for the team. You're gonna have to wait. Most likely, it might even be better just to give up that first Lord. Let RRQ take it, do your best to defend. You need to allow yourself for Ken to catch up a little bit here, and as well as Zipex. That's your main damage dealers. This is the downside of having a Mage gold lane, right? Oh, charge up though. They get the flicker out from, actually no, Justin just dashed out of that. So they get the Noon One Blast out, but still, by the time the Lord comes up here, they're gonna have it available. Conceal though.
Oh, Naomi uses it to get away though. They're definitely testing the limits. Like Falcon, they're seeing, they're trying to bait, but RRQ is not biting.
They're just like making sure that they go for the right engage. And honestly, if you're RRQ, you don't have to do anything too crazy. You have all the range to work with. The snipe coming in, you can usually use the feathered airstrike to just chip away at the HP bars of Falcon. As long as you get the right target, I mean, Ken, Justin, and Zipex are all vulnerable to just getting bursted down. And if Yellow Flash or Naomi wants to try and do anything about it, there's DPS as well. This is why the balanced composition of RRQ is just so much more dangerous in the mid game unless Falcon got ahead.
Well, right now they're going to focus here. Bottom side, putting pressure where they can. Looks like they are just going to go ahead and give up this first Lord as RRQ is just going to go ahead and freely work on it. So Falcon just trying to find any type of win they can across the map, and right now there has to be space. That's their first turret of the game here. Now they're gonna have to defend against that Lord push. It is only the first one, should be fine, but still, Falcon trying to buy time here. And even if Naomi grabs any member of RRQ, they're gonna get claps down on. Again, whether it's Vin, R7, or even Albert, can Falcon actually respond to that and actually react to that clash down from RRQ, Arashi?
I feel like the only real solution here is to try and take out Skylar and then try and win out by way of DPS, because they do have a quote-unquote marksman in the jungle and they have a solid gold lane in form of Zipex, so they can still try and do that like they did in the previous game. Look at that burst damage though!
That is insane, and this is the range, this is the problem. Right now, even Justin can't dash in to get Clay's ultimate, right? Can't dash in. The only one he's been able to take right now is Vin. He just can't, none of them, Naomi, anyone can find the distance. For now, the Lord is coming in, gonna crash in on that inhibitor. The concealed play
my
down. Lot of
goodness!
burst damage, Clay finds and Ken goes down. RRQ reigning supreme.
What the heck is that damage? And this is what happens when you get this lead, this tempo in your favor. They're assaulting the base of Falcon.
I mean, they destroyed Ken without even using the feathered airstrike. That's just so much damage coming in from both the feathered airstrike and the snipe coming in from Skylar. This combo is devastating, and it just comes from so far away, you don't really have time to react to it.
I don't know if there's a way out of this, guys. I feel like Falcon is, they're sitting in the nest right now. They're sitting in the nest, and it is about to come crashing down. RRQ is not taking their foot off the pedal.
Well, real quick, look at this stat here. M4 stats. RRQ is ranked first in team damage dealt per minute with 13,981. That's basically big damn, right? I mean, that's a lot to deal with. And you're seeing it here in the game. Falcon can't respond right now to it. Look at that.
Huge burst coming in from Clay. He has the Divine Glaive as well right now, and you can see 2 bolts, that's all it takes. Look at the damage, man. 4 items already complete, and that's before you even factor in everyone else. So here's the same strategy. Long range, magic, and physical damage. 3 very beefy members with a ton of crowd control. Falcon has no assassin, no way to get behind the members of RRQ.
I mean, taking a look at some of these items, it's just Ken is so far behind right now. All he's got is the Malefic Roar, the Hunter's Strike. It's becoming a problem.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing, too, is you just don't have, even if you find a pick, you have the follow-up damage. And let's say you do get one member of RRQ down. You still have to deal with everybody else. I mean, at this point, the lead is huge. Can they turn it around? It would be a Holy Mary play, possibly from Justin. He's holding on to the Numenon Blast here. They could work with that plus Naomi and hope that Zipex and Ken can stay alive. But right now, the next Lord is going to be up on us. Falcon trying to get in position. It's half health here. Albert continuing to work on it.
Vin with the flicker! Down goes Zipex. 10 will get stunned. R7 going to try to capitalize on this. The rest of RQ has found the blood. They smell it. Albert's going to hang out by this Lord, but Vin with the outplay.
He just predicts the position coming in from Falcon and gets a massive Numenon Blast, completely shutting down any kind of contest. And now without Zipex in the picture, it does seem like RRQ are trying to get some more, but the wave clear is still not that bad coming in from Falcon. Of course, if Naomi makes a play, it's still possible, but RRQ, they can just wait for the Lord to come in, make sure that they manage the waves properly, and just, again, wait for the right moment to burst down the members from Falcon from so far away, completely out of range.
Well, right now, Falcon, this could very well be their last opportunity here. Lord on the top side. Feathered airstrike gonna come down.
There's no build up for this one. No time to set the map because Finn is trying to strike. Lord has closed the distance. Justin tries to respond with Unulan Blast of his own, but now RQ is here. They're trying to shred down the Lord, but not enough damage. Ken, Lord finally connecting. RQ biding their time. They know they got plenty of damage to do this. Justin working his way around the side. Yellow Flash trying to keep them at bay. Minions are gone, so RQ must back off, but another wave is coming. Beautiful renaissance. Zipex goes down. Cray dropping the bombs from the air, and RQ wants this game. That is it. RQ has clipped the wings of the Falcons. Tonight they fall. The kingdom is proud, and RQ reigns supreme.
Reverse sweep denied. RRQ with a dominant fashion for game 5. With a massive play, massive game, and a great series to start the day.
They showed us 2 same exact drafts, and in the third game that can potentially go to Falcon, they completely switch it up, and they win in such dominant fashion. Who would have expected, man, the final game to be almost a stomp coming in from RRQ?
GG's well played. I gotta give it up to Falcon though. What an amazing performance. I love Zipex. I love this, going over, giving them all dabs, showing the respect. You could definitely tell Justin was a little bit upset there. He knows they lost the game, but still they made it this far. But tonight in Indonesia, RQ made the fans proud.
I mean, you can see it, right? The respect amongst the players here. This is really in the tournament where it gets much harder as you're rooting for multiple teams here, and eventually team.
And there we go, man. Too bad the game 5 had to end like that, because that was just one-sided, man. But still, props to Falcon for being able to answer back twice against RRQ Indonesia. I just realized some other teams don't dap, man. Some other teams don't high five and whatnot. Does that mean something? Anyways, guys. Anyway, see, we're gonna be back. There's like an 1 hour break before the next fight starts. Ooh, great job by RRQ. Man, the Falcon, man, that's sad. The regret they have. Still, good job, Falcon, for being... Yeah. So anyways, we're gonna be back, guys. I think there's more than an hour, 1 hour. Yo, move for the Falcon, man. Make some space for Falcon. They still did a great job. That girl blocked that guy Falcon's way. Move. So there we go, guys. We're gonna be back for an hour. For 1 hour, it's gonna be the Valley versus Onyx. Another great game to watch out for. So see you guys. We're gonna be back. Yeah, the Valley versus Onyx next. After that, it's gonna be Echo versus Blacklist. So bye, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching. We will be back. Oh, outro. We have to do the outro. Okay. What's gonna be our outro? Just a normal. Here we go. So what can you say about that match? Was the 4 magic damage too much? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. That's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you for watching. Bye!